আমরা কি অলরেডি লাইভে আছি?
হ্যাঁ 10:55
মানে আমরা কি লাইভ নাকি?
yes yes
রঘু স্যার গুড মর্নিং।
গুড মর্নিং। মানে কারেন্ট তো এসছে ঠিক আছে, কিন্তু কাজ করছে না। আমি মোবাইল থেকে অন করেছি।
হ্যাঁ এখন স্যার শোনা যেতেছে আপনার কথা স্যার।
মোটামুটি শোনা যাচ্ছে কি আমার কথা?
yes yes
হ্যাঁ একদম একদম।
রঘুবাবু নমস্কার।
নমস্কার স্যার, কিন্তু শোনা যাচ্ছে কি?
হ্যাঁ ক্লিয়ার।
ওকে স্যার, আমরা আর 1 মিনিটের মতো শুরু করে দেবো অলরেডি।
হো দেরি করিয়া লাভ নাই, টাইমলি শুরু করলেই বেটার। নীলাঞ্জন স্যার
কিরকম আছস?
ভালো তো ভালো আছি রে। মানে কই ধর্মনগর না কইল করিমগঞ্জ?
তোর শরীর ভালো আছে নি?
শরীর ভালো। আর বাকি সব ঠিকঠাক আছে তো? তোমরা ক্লাস কি মানে হয়নি কি এখন ক্লাস? মানে কি তা অনলাইন? আচ্ছা হ্যাঁ। পরীক্ষা তো বলে হয়ে গেছে তোমরা?
অর্ধেক হইছে রে।
আচ্ছা
অর্ধেক হইছে। বাকি
হ্যাঁ?
ভালো হইছে। অর্ধেক হইছে।
হ্যাঁ অর্ধেকের মতো, মানে ফার্স্ট সেমিস্টার তো হইছে না,
সত্যি অর্ধেক
মানে
হইছে।
বাকি থার্ড সেমিস্টার ফিফথ সেমিস্টার। হ্যাঁ বুঝছি
বড় পরীক্ষা
বাকি রয়েছে।
পাশের বড় পরীক্ষা বাকি।
ওকে স্যার, আমরা স্টার্ট করি স্যার। অলরেডি আমাদের টাইম হয়ে গেছে স্যার।
yes yes
সবাই এসছে কি, মানে বাকি গেস্টরা?
হ্যাঁ স্যার এসেছে স্যার।
রাহুল স্যার,
start Abhijit sir
Okay, good morning to all distinguished resource person, all participant, teaching and non-teaching staff of this college, and principal sir, and my all dear student. A very good morning to all. On behalf of Department of History and Department of Physics, Government Degree College, Dharmanagar, I, Shri Abhijit Das, Assistant Professor in History and HOD in charge of this department, would like to extend a warm welcome to all of you in the National E-Conference on Project Methodology. It is my pleasure to welcome you all. This is the second time that the board department are going to organize an online national level program. On this important day, today we have with us our principal sir of this college, Shri Gautam Das sir, who is a great guide for this college. Sir, we are very pleased that you have been support and cooperate with us for organizing this type of program. Then we have with us Dr. Sujit Ranjan Das sir, HOD Department of Physics, and as well as the convener of this program. Then we have with us Dr. Raghunandan Das sir, Assistant Professor, Department of Physics, Government Degree College, Dharmanagar, and also the joint convener of this program. We have with us 4 invited resource persons from the different parts of the country. They are Dr. Nilanjan De, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Rabindra Sadan Girls College, Karimganj, Assam. Dr. Rahul Bhattacharjee, Department of Physics, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar College, Bilunia. Dr. Kulendra Chandra Das, Department of Environmental Science, Pachunga University College, Aizawl, Mizoram. Devabrata Das, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT, Kerala. We are happy and pleased that the all resource person have give their positive response for organizing this type of program, and we hope that this program will helpful to our teaching community as well as our student, our research scholar, and those who are interested on project methodology, because we know that project methodology is a very relevant theme for nowadays, especially for the student of 6th semester under Tripura University, because a full paper of 100 marks is here. So I hope that this conference will help them also. So with these few words, I conclude my speech here. Now I hand over to my Dr. Sujit Ranjan Das sir. Thank you everyone. Thanks. Sujit Ranjan Das sir, please sir.
You please, I request to our principal sir to give the lecturer.
Sound is very poor.
You request
Okay.
Principal sir.
Good morning to all. Respected convener of this conference, Dr. Sujit Ranjan Das, Joint Convener Dr. Raghunandan Das, Organizing Secretary of this conference, Sri Abhijit Das, and all members of Organizing Committee. We have research persons with us, Dr. Nilanjan De, Assistant Professor, Rabindra Sadan Girls College, Karimganj, Assam. Dr. Kulendra Chandra Das, Assistant Professor, Pachunga University College, Aizawl, Mizoram. Dr. Rahul Bhattacharjee, Associate Professor, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar College, Bilunia, Tripura. Mr. Devabrata Das, IIT, Kerala, and all participants. On behalf of Government Degree College, Dharmanagar, I would like to welcome to all of you on today's National Conference on Project Methodology organized by Department of Physics and Department of History of this college. You know that a methodology is a collection of methods, practices, processes, techniques, procedures, and roles. In project management, methodologies are specific, strict, and usually contain a series of steps and activities of each phase of the project's life cycle. There are 3 primary methodology types: qualitative, quantitative, and mixed method, with specific methods such as case studies, self-reporting, and survey. To write a project methodology, we should follow the procedure like to explain your methodological approach, to describe the method of data collection, to describe the method of analysis, to evaluate and justify your methodological choices. Tips for writing a strong methodology. The standard project has 4 major phases: initiation, planning, implementation, and closure. Definition, design, development, follow-up, all are in this 4th phase. We will exchange our information, views, techniques, regarding project methodology on today's e-conference with our experts and will enrich our knowledge and thoughts. The project is a vital part of board level, UG level, and PG level syllabus. So this will benefit all teachers, students, and all stakeholders, irrespective of school, college, and university. It is fact that sometimes we guide our students regarding their projects with the help of previous year projects, not with minimum modification. But through these types of conferences, workshop, webinar, we modify, we can modernize our methodology so that the project will be more standard and also national level. I would like to thank every individual connected with this conference on behalf of our Government Degree College, Dharmanagar, Tripura. I pray and hope your good health. With these few words, I conclude my speech. Thank, thank you once again.
Hello.
Yes,
Sudhir sir, am I audible?
yes, 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 you are audible. You are audible.
Hello. Sudhir sir, am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible.
Okay. Thank you, Principal Sir, for your support and help and your inspirational word. Now I request to Dr. Sujit Ranjan Das Sir for giving the vote of thanks, sir. Sujit Ranjan Das Sir.
Yes. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay. My gratitude is deepest to Dr. Rahul Bhattacharya, Associate Professor, ICBS College, Tripura, Dr. Nilanjan De, SSG College, Karimganj, Assam, Dr. Kulendra Chandra Das, P University College, Mizoram, Sri Devobrata Das, IIT Kerala, for their positive response in organizing this national conference. On behalf of the organizing committee, I am grateful to them. I sincerely record our principal sir for his inspiration and support throughout the conference. My thanks goes to those who faithfully attending the conference. I am pleased to thank all the committee members, and at last, but not the least, a big thank to one and all. Thank you. Thank you, sir. Probably the organizing secretary is out of our next activity areas. Our inaugural session, actually, our inaugural session is ended here. Okay, with prior permission of the organizing secretary, Sri Abhijit Das sir, I am going to continue the lecture sessions from here. Today, actually, our lecture session is divided into four parts. And at the first, Dr. Nilanjan De, Department of History, he will deliver the lectures. And his topic is UGC research project from topic to proposal. and he has done his PhD from Assam University. He has written more than one books and article published more than nine. Many papers presented in national and international journals, and he has actually undergoing an UGC project. And he is also the state secretary of Bharatiya Etihas Sankalan Samiti, Assam plant. So, Dr. Niranjan sir, I am welcoming you and to start your presentation. The platform is yours.
Okay, namaskar to everybody. And first of all, respected principal sir, I'm honored that you have called me to in this August conference, National League conference, and all the dignitaries, those who have actually thought that I am able to say something. So thanks to the department and Department of History, which is actually my department from where I have started my career in this college. And thanks to the Department of Physics, my Dada Sujitda and Raghunandan, my friend. So first of all, actually it is my privilege to be the part of this occasion, and I want to actually present my research paper, and that is the topic. And so if it is from your part, if I want to share my screen, so just allow me to share my screen. Please help to share my screen. It will be. So am I audible? Shujitda, am I audible?
Yes, sir. You are audible, sir.
Okay. So actually, the project actually I want to, that is the title I have chosen, that is the UGC research project, and from topic to proposal. Basically, I am giving much more focus on the college teachers. So, it will be a bilingual, as it has been informed to me that the students are also there. So, I will try to make it both in English as well as in Bengali also. So আমাদের যে আজকের যে বিষয়টা সেটা আমি ইউজিসি রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টে ফ্রম টপিক টু প্রপোজাল নিয়েছি, যদিও সেটা ডাইরেক্টলি স্টুডেন্টদের সাথে রিলেটেড নয়। আমি বেসিক্যালি ফোকাস করেছি আমাদের যে শিক্ষকরা যারা আছেন, এবং শিক্ষকরা ওরা হচ্ছেন যে আমাদের কলেজ শিক্ষক যারা আছেন বিশেষ করে, তো তাদেরকে কিভাবে প্রপোজালটা রেডি করতে হবে এবং কিভাবে ওরা প্রপোজালটা সাবমিট করবেন, এই পুরো বিষয়টা ইউজিসি যে মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টটা রয়েছে সেই প্রজেক্টের উপরে ভিত্তি করেই আমি আমার আজকের এই বিষয়টাকে চুজ করেছি। So before I enter into that is the main topic, I want to say something that we first, while we are preparing a proposal, we should know about that what is the difference between the subject and the topic. So when we say about that, talking about a subject is actually a broader term. এটা একটা অনেক বড় বিষয়, এটা বড় একটা জিনিস। যেমন একটা উদাহরণ দিয়ে আমি বলি, যেমন আমি একটা সাবজেক্ট চুজ করলাম, আমি যখন কোনো কিছু নিয়ে লিখবো, কোনো কিছু নিয়ে রিসার্চ করবো, তখন আমাকে যে সাবজেক্টটা চুজ করতে হবে, সেই সাবজেক্টটা আমাকে ধরে নিলাম আমি ত্রিপুরা একটা সাবজেক্ট হতে পারে। আমি যদি মনে করি যে আমি মাইগ্রেশন নিয়ে কাজ করবো, সে মাইগ্রেশন মে বি এ সাবজেক্ট। কিন্তু যখন আমি টপিকটা চুজ করতে যাব, সেই টপিকটা হবে ইট উইল বি মাচ মোর ফোকাস মানে হচ্ছে সেটা আরো মাইক্রো হতে হবে। যেমন আমরা যদি বলি যে আজকে আমাদের যে ইয়েটা রয়েছে, যে ত্রিপুরার উপরে যখন মাইগ্রেশনের উপরে যখন কাজ করবো, কিন্তু টপিক যখন সিলেকশন করতে যাব তখন সেটা এরকম হতে পারে যে মাইগ্রেশন ইন 1971। তো আমি তখন আরো প্রিসাইজ হয়ে গেলাম যে 1971 এর মধ্যে সেই আমার মাইগ্রেশনটাকে কাজ করতে হবে। সো সাবজেক্ট ইজ এ ভাস্ট এরিয়া, একটা বড় জিনিস, এবং টপিকটার সিলেকশন হচ্ছে মাচ মোর ফোকাস এবং মোর প্রিসাইজ, এবং সেটা বলা যায় যে আরো ন্যারোয়ার। তো এই অবস্থায় যখন আমরা সাবজেক্ট এবং টপিক চুজ করলাম মনে মনে, তখন আমাদেরকে তৈরি করতে হবে একটা রিসার্চ প্রপোজাল। তো সেই রিসার্চ প্রপোজালটা কি, আমাদেরকে জানতে হবে যে সেই রিসার্চ প্রপোজালটা আমাদের কিরকম তৈরি করতে হবে এবং রিসার্চ প্রপোজালে কি থাকে। তো রিসার্চ প্রপোজালে দেখা গেছে যে যে এখানে থাকবে যে সেই টপিকটা, কনসার্ন টপিকটাকে ইনভেস্টিগেট করতে হবে সেই প্রপোজালের মধ্যে। তারপরে আমাকে ঠিক করতে হবে যে ইট শুড ডিটারমাইন হোয়াট উইল বি দেয়ার, হোয়াট উইল বি রিসার্চ, আমরা কি রিসার্চ করব। তারপরে ধরুন আমরা ইয়ে করবো যে আমরা কিভাবে সেটাকে রিসার্চ করব, দ্য ওয়েজ টু কন্ডাক্ট দ্য রিসার্চ। তো রিসার্চ প্রপোজাল তৈরি করার মধ্যে এই বিষয়গুলোর উপরে বিশেষভাবে আমাদেরকে মনে রাখতে হবে যে আমরা কিভাবে এই কাজগুলো আমরা করতে পারি। এখন আমরা যাচ্ছি যে আমরা প্রপোজালে ডাইরেক্ট চলে যাচ্ছি যে আমরা ইউজিসি, যেটা আমাদের, কারণ সময় আমাদের সীমিত, সেই সময়ের মধ্যে আমাকে শেষও করতে হবে। তো তারপরে এটা বলতে যাচ্ছি যে হোয়ার টু অ্যাপ্রোচ ফর রিসার্চ ফান্ড, আমরা কোন কোন জায়গাতে আমরা রিসার্চ ফান্ডের জন্য আমরা প্রপোজালটাকে পাঠাবো। দেখা গেছে যে ভারতবর্ষের যে ন্যাশনাল যে ফান্ডিং এজেন্সিস গুলো রয়েছে, তার মধ্যে নিয়ার অ্যাবাউট 16 to 17 ফান্ডিং এজেন্সিস আর দেয়ার অল ওভার ইন্ডিয়া। এটা হচ্ছে গভর্নমেন্ট, তো ন্যাশনাল লেভেলে। তার মধ্যে যেহেতু আমি একজন ইতিহাসের ছাত্র, সেজন্য আমি বেশি ইতিহাসের কথাই বলবো এবং আমি আর্টসের কথাই বলবো। সেজন্য সেখানে আমরা বিশেষভাবে দেখি যে ইউনিভার্সিটি গ্রান্টস কমিশন রয়েছে, সেখানে ইন্ডিয়ান কাউন্সিল অফ সোশ্যাল সায়েন্স রয়েছে, ইন্ডিয়ান কাউন্সিল অফ কালচারাল রিলেশনস রয়েছে এবং ICHR রয়েছে, সেখানে ইন্ডিয়ান কাউন্সিল অফ ফিলোসফি রিসার্চ রয়েছে। এছাড়া বাকিগুলো যেগুলো রয়েছে সেগুলো সায়েন্সের জন্য বিশেষ ভূমিকা পালন করে, কিন্তু আমাদের আর্টসের ক্ষেত্রে এই যে ফান্ডিং এজেন্সিস গুলো রয়েছে সেগুলো খুব ভালোভাবে আমাদেরকে ফান্ডিং করে থাকে আমাদের রিসার্চের কাজের জন্য, বিশেষ করে কলেজ শিক্ষকদের জন্য। সো এখানে আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে আমি যেটা দেখেছি যে তার মধ্যে ইউনিভার্সিটি গ্রান্টস কমিশন হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সহজতম রাস্তা যেখান থেকে আমরা ফান্ডিং গুলো পেতে পারি। তো তারপরে আমি আসছি যে ইউনিভার্সিটি গ্রান্টস কমিশন, সেখানে কতভাবে আমাদের প্রজেক্টের ফান্ডিং করা হয়ে থাকে। জেনারেলি দুই ধরনের ফান্ডিং আমাদের হয়ে থাকে। সেই ফান্ডিং গুলো কিরকম, সেগুলো হচ্ছে মেজর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট আর মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের ক্ষেত্রে। এখন মেজর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট এবং মেজর রিসার্চ জেনারেলি কলেজের মধ্যে করা সম্ভব হয় না, কিন্তু মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট ইজ পসিবল, এখানে করা হয়। এখানে একটা জিনিস ইউনিভার্সিটি গ্রান্টস কমিশন তার অবজেক্টিভস এর মধ্যে বলে দিয়েছে যে টিচাররা, দেখা গেছে এই জিনিসটা যে নর্মালি একটা ইউনিভার্সিটি বিভিন্ন এলাকা থেকে দে আর গেটিং দ্য ফান্ডস ফ্রম ভেরিয়াস সোর্সেস, whereas the colleges are not actually getting their funds properly. And if the college is arts college or a commerce college, in that case there are lots of problem getting the funds from various sources. কিন্তু সায়েন্সের আবার সেই সুযোগ সুবিধাটা রয়েছে। সায়েন্সটা বিভিন্ন খাতে ওরা বিভিন্ন ইয়েতে প্রজেক্টগুলো ওরা গ্রান্টিং এজেন্সি থেকে প্রজেক্টগুলো পেয়ে থাকে। কিন্তু একটা আর্টসের একটা স্টুডেন্ট বা একজন আর্টসের একজন শিক্ষক যদি কোনো কারণে যদি সে কোনো একটা প্রজেক্ট করতে চান, তাহলে ওনাকে বেশ একটু সময়ের জন্য অপেক্ষা করতে হয়। কিন্তু ইউজিসি হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে সহজতম রাস্তা, যেখান থেকে আমরা কলেজে বিভিন্ন আর্টসের যারা টিচাররা আছি আমরা এবং কমার্সের যারা আছে এরা মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট আমরা পেতে পারি। সেই জন্য কলেজকে অ্যাকচুয়ালি সাপোর্ট করার জন্যই ইউনিভার্সিটি এই সহজতম রাস্তাটা মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট আমাদেরকে দিয়েছে। এটা ওদের অবজেক্টিভস এর মধ্যেই ওরা এই জিনিসগুলো উল্লেখ করেছে। তারপরে যে জিনিসটা আছে যে হু উইল গেট দ্য সাপোর্ট অফ দ্য ইউজিসি গ্রান্ট, কারা ইউজিসি গ্রান্টটা পাবে, সেটা একটা বড় ব্যাপার। কারা পাবে, যদি সেই কলেজটা একটা পার্মানেন্ট এবং যদি কলেজ থাকে এবং যেটা ইউনিভার্সিটির আন্ডারে সেকশন 2(5) অথবা 12B আন্ডারে যদি থাকে, তাহলে সে পেয়ে যাবে। এবং অবশ্যই সেই কলেজের একজন পার্মানেন্ট টিচার হতে হবে। এই ব্যাপারে অনেক সময়, যেমন আমি 2006 সালে, আমি আমার অভিজ্ঞতা থেকে বলছি, তখন ওই কলেজে ধর্মনগর কলেজে চাকরি করতাম এবং সেখান থেকে যখন আমি কাজটা আমার শুরু করেছিলাম, আমি তখন পার্ট টাইম কন্ট্রাক্ট টিচার হিসেবে কাজ করতাম। কিন্তু করার পরেও একটা জিনিস হয়েছিল ওই সময়, যে আমি তখন একটা মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের জন্য আমি পাঠিয়েছিলাম, কিন্তু ওইখানে কিন্তু ওই রকম পার্মানেন্ট বা রেগুলার কথাটা উল্লেখ ওই সময় করা ছিল না। কিন্তু আমার পরবর্তী সময় আমার কাছে একটা কাগজ আছে যে আমার হবে না, কারণ আই এম নট এ পার্মানেন্ট টিচার। তো এই অভিজ্ঞতা থেকে আমি বলছি যে এবং পরবর্তী সময় যখন 12 প্ল্যান যেটা বেরোয় 2012 থেকে 13 পর্যন্ত যেটা আছে ওটার মধ্যে ক্লিয়ার কাট পার্মানেন্ট এবং রেগুলার টিচারের কথা বলা আছে। তো আরেকটা ব্যাপার হচ্ছে যেখানে যে রিটায়ার্ড টিচারও কিন্তু ইচ্ছে করলে মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টে হতে পারে, কিন্তু এবং ওনার বয়স অবশ্যই 67 পর্যন্ত ভেতরে হতে পারে। কিন্তু এই ক্ষেত্রে উনি যে বিষয়ের শিক্ষক উনি কিন্তু সেই পার্টিকুলার ওই ডিপার্টমেন্টে একজন টিচারের কে কো ইনভেস্টিগেটর হিসাবে ওনাকে কিন্তু নিতে হবে, এবং হি শুড বি এ পার্মানেন্ট টিচার অফ দ্যাট পার্টিকুলার ডিপার্টমেন্ট এন্ড পার্টিকুলার কলেজ। সো এই জিনিসটা রিটায়ার্ড টিচারের ক্ষেত্রেও কিন্তু রইল। এখন হু উইল বি অ্যাকাউন্টেবল ফর দ্য হোল প্রজেক্ট? এই প্রজেক্টের জন্য কারা অ্যাকাউন্টেবল থাকবে? সেটা হচ্ছে প্রিন্সিপাল ইনভেস্টিগেটর, মানে আমি নিজে যিনি রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের জন্য বলছেন, বা কো ইনভেস্টিগেটর এবং কলেজ, উনি থাকবেন। এবং আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে আরেকটা জিনিস আমাদের জানা দরকার যে ওই গ্যাপ কতদিনের থাকবে। যেমন আমি একটা রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট আমি করেছি, করার পরে আমার আরেকটা রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের এই দুটোর মধ্যে কতদিনের গ্যাপ থাকতে হবে। সেই গ্যাপটা হবে অ্যাকচুয়ালি 1 বছরের একটা গ্যাপ থাকতে হবে, এবং গ্যাপটা হবে এরকম ভাবে যে আমি যেদিন আমার কমপ্লিশন রিপোর্টটা ইউজিসির কাছে থেকে পেলাম সেই দিন থেকে আরো 365 দিন পরে, এটা হচ্ছে আমাদের গ্যাপের যেটা ব্যাপারটা। আমি মধ্যখানে আমি কোনো প্রপোজাল পাঠাতে পারবো না। এই ব্যাপারে আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে ইউজিসি যে 12 প্ল্যান পর্যন্ত লাস্ট এটা দিয়েছে মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের ক্ষেত্রে, সেখানে যে ডেটটা দেওয়া ছিল প্রজেক্ট সাবমিশনে, সেই ডেটটা হচ্ছে আমাদের এপ্রিলের 1 তারিখ থেকে জুনের 30 তারিখ পর্যন্ত। এই টাইমের মধ্যে আমাদের সাবমিশন করতে হবে, এবং সেটা হচ্ছে এবারের সিস্টেম থেকে যেটা করেছিল ওরা ওই সময়। এই ব্যাপার আরেকটা জিনিস আমাদের জেনে নেওয়া ভালো যে 2017 পর থেকে 13 প্ল্যানের উপরে কিন্তু ইউজিসি এখনো মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের ব্যাপারে কিছু বলেনি, এখনো কিন্তু ওরা কিছু বলেনি। এখন লাস্ট আমাদেরকে পুরনো এটাই এখনো চলছে এবং নতুন করে কিছু ওরা দিচ্ছে। কিন্তু আশা করা যায় যে বিষয়বস্তুগুলো অলমোস্ট সেমই থাকবে, এবং এরা কমপ্লিটলি এবার এটা অনলাইন সিস্টেমের মোডে ওরা করে নিয়েছে সেটা। তো নেচার অফ অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্সটা এখন আসছে যে কত টাকা বা কত আমরা পাবো, এবং অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্সের ইয়েটা কোন জায়গায়। মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের ক্ষেত্রে এই ব্যাপারে দেখা গেছে যে সায়েন্স বা মেডিকেল বা ইঞ্জিনিয়ারিং ক্ষেত্রে বা এগ্রিকালচারের ক্ষেত্রে ম্যাক্সিমাম 5 লাখ টাকার একটা আমরা সাধারণত পেয়ে থাকি, এবং আর্টসের ক্ষেত্রে বা সোশ্যাল সায়েন্সের ক্ষেত্রে, লিটারেচারের ক্ষেত্রে, হিউম্যানিটিজের ক্ষেত্রে 3 লাখ পর্যন্ত আমরা গ্রান্টটা পাবো। আমরা 3 লাখ পর্যন্ত আমাদের থাকে, ওরা দেবে আমাদেরকে টিচারদেরকে। তো প্রবাবলি হ্যাঁ ঠিক আছে। তারপরে যেটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে গ্রান্টসটা কি টাইপের গ্রান্টস গুলো আমাদেরকে আসে, কিরকম গ্রান্টস গুলো আমরা জেনারেলি পাই, এটা খুব ভালো করে আমাদেরকে জানা দরকার। কারণ প্রজেক্ট তৈরি করার পরে যখন আমরা সাবমিট করি, সেই সাবমিশনের মধ্যে ভুল গুলো ইনফরমেশন গুলো প্রোভাইড করার জন্য আমাদের অনেকেরই আমাদের প্রজেক্ট গুলো রিজেক্ট হয়ে যায়। সো উই শুড নো অ্যাবাউট হাউ টু অ্যাপ্লাই প্রপারলি। এটা হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে বড় ব্যাপার টিচারদের জন্য। অনেকে ওভার কনফিডেন্সে বা অন্যদের কথা শুনে অনেক সময় অনেক জিনিস আমরা দিয়ে দিই, কিন্তু এটা উচিত না। ঠিক যেভাবে আমাদেরকে সিস্টেম বলে দিয়েছে ঠিক সেইভাবেই আমাদেরকে করতে হবে। তো রাস্তাটা কিরকম? গ্রান্টস গুলো জেনারেলি 2 রকম হয়ে থাকে। একটা হচ্ছে নন রেকারিং গ্রান্টস, যেখানের মধ্যে ইকুইপমেন্টস বা মাইনর ইকুইপমেন্টস গুলো থাকে, এবং আরেকটা হচ্ছে বুকস এন্ড জার্নালস, বই যে আমরা কিনবো তার যে গ্রান্টস গুলো। আর রেকারিং গ্রান্টস এর মধ্যে একটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে আমরা হায়ারিং সাবজেক্টস গুলো যেগুলো থাকে, যেমন আমি টাইপিং করলাম, কাউকে দিয়ে টাইপ করালাম, কাউকে দিয়ে বাইন্ডিং করালাম আমার প্রজেক্টটা, স্যাম্পল অ্যানালাইসিস করলাম, এগুলোর ক্ষেত্রে হায়ারিং এর ক্ষেত্রে আমরা যে গ্রান্টটা ইউজ করব। কন্টিনজেন্সির মধ্যে অনেকগুলো জিনিস থাকে, যেমন বিভিন্ন অ্যাপারেটাস গুলো আছে, ফটোস্টেট কপিস গুলো করতে হয়, মাইক্রোফিল্মস। সো এগুলো অনেকগুলো জিনিস আছে যেগুলো কন্টিনজেন্সির মধ্যে পড়ে। এগুলো যখন আমরা জমা দেবো তখন কিন্তু আমাদেরকে এই বিষয়গুলো ভালো করে জানতে হবে। ইনফ্যাক্ট ইন্টারনেট এবং ফ্যাক্সের জন্য আমাদের যে খরচ তাও কিন্তু ইউজিসি আমাদেরকে দিয়ে দিচ্ছে, প্রিন্টিং এর জন্য যা খরচ তাও দিয়ে দিচ্ছে। এই প্রসঙ্গে আরেকটা জিনিসও মনে রাখা দরকার যে আমাদেরকে যে অডিট ফিস যেটা আছে, সেই অডিট ফিসটা যেখানে আমরা যখন অডিট করাবো কোনো চার্টার্ড অ্যাকাউন্টেন্টকে দিয়ে, সেই অডিট ফিসটাও কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি সেই কন্টিনজেন্সির মধ্যেই কিন্তু আসবে। তো এইটা হচ্ছে কন্টিনিউয়াসি। এছাড়া আছে আরেকটা গ্রান্ট, সেটা হচ্ছে স্পেশাল নিডস। তো সেখানে যদি কোনো দরকার পড়ে, কোনো অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্সের দরকার পড়ে, সেই অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্সটা অ্যাডভাইস স্পেশাল নিডস আমরা দিতে পারি। কেমিক্যালস এন্ড কনজিউমেবলস, সেটা সাধারণত সায়েন্সের জন্য দরকার পড়ে থাকে, কি কি কেমিক্যালস লাগবে, কত টাকা খরচ হবে, সেটা ওরা দেবে। ট্রাভেল এন্ড ফিল্ড ওয়ার্কের মধ্যে একটা জিনিস আমরা দেওয়া দরকার, যে আমরা ট্রাভেলিং এর মধ্যে ডাটা কালেকশনের ক্ষেত্রে যে ট্রাভেল হবে, সেই ট্রাভেলের পারপাসে আমাদের যে খরচাগস্যের জন্য গ্রান্ট দিচ্ছে। কিন্তু এই ব্যাপারে আরেকটা জিনিস আমাদের মনেও রাখা দরকার, যে আমরা যদি কোনো আমাদের যে 2 বছরের যে আমাদের যে প্রজেক্ট ওয়ার্ক থাকবে, within these 2 years, if we are going to attend or participate in any sorts of any that is conference or seminar or workshop. Suppose I am in Tripura and I am going to West Bengal and some other places to attend any workshop or conference. In that case, আমরা ওই travel allowance কিন্তু আমরা claim করতে পারবো না। We cannot claim that travel allowance. That is, I am going to Calcutta or I am going to somewhere else to attend any conference to present something during this period. কারণ আমাকে একটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে পরবর্তী সময়ে আমাকে প্রজেক্ট ওয়ার্কের সাথে আমাকে একটা, আমি যে ওই প্রজেক্টের উপরে কোনো পেপার পাবলিশ করেছি কিনা না, সেই বিষয়গুলো আসবে। অনেক সময় পেইড পেপার পাবলিকেশনের ব্যাপার থাকে। সেই পেইড পেপারের পাবলিকেশনের ক্ষেত্রে সেই পেপার পাবলিকেশনের জন্য যে আমি টাকা দিয়েছি, সেই টাকা আমি অন্য কোনো কারণে আমি যদি ক্লেম করি, সেটা কিন্তু এখানে কিন্তু হবে না। বা কোনো কারণে আমি কোনো কনফারেন্স অ্যাটেন্ড করলাম, সেই কনফারেন্সে যাওয়ার জন্য আমার যে খরচাগুলো, তাও কিন্তু আমি ট্রাভেল অ্যালাউন্সে আমি দেখাতে পারবো না। ইট উইল বি কমপ্লিটলি ডাটা কালেকশনের ক্ষেত্রে, লাইব্রেরি ভিজিটের ক্ষেত্রে সেটা আমরা করতে পারি। তারপরে একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট জিনিস হচ্ছে, যখন আমি প্রপোজালটা সাবমিট করব, সেই সাবমিশনের মধ্যে একটা অপশন আমাদের রয়েছে, যে নন রেকারিং ফান্ডস গুলো যেগুলো রয়েছে, রেকারিং গ্রান্টস যেগুলো রয়েছে, সেই রেকারিং গ্রান্টসের মধ্যে আমরা যে সেকশন গুলো আছে, সেগুলোর মধ্যে আমরা কোনো কারণে, যেমন আমি ট্রাভেলিং অ্যালাউন্সে আগে দিয়েছিলাম 60,000 টাকা, কিন্তু কোনো কারণে সেটা আমাকে বাড়াতে হবে বা কমাতে হবে, আমি কিন্তু ম্যাক্সিমাম 20% আমি কমাতে পারি, কিন্তু উইথ প্রায়ার পারমিশন অফ দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল as well as the implicit justification আমাকে লাগবে। তো এটা হচ্ছে এটা বিশেষ গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, এবং প্রিন্সিপালের পারমিশন ছাড়া কোনো কাজ আমরা কোনো ধরনের কোনো কিছু করতে পারবো না। implicit justification লাগে with prior permission of the principal regarding any alteration of the grants. তারপরে টেনিওরের ব্যাপারটা আসলো। টেনিওরটা কত বছর? 2 বছর দেওয়া হয় মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টের ক্ষেত্রে, এবং এই 2 বছর এর একদিনও আমরা বাড়াতে পারবো না। ইউ হ্যাভ টু কমপ্লিট উইদিন 2 ইয়ার্স। অনেকে বলে থাকে যে ঠিক আছে, অনেকেই দেখা যায় যে 2 বছরের পরে 3 বছর পরে জমা দিচ্ছে, কিন্তু এটা আমাদের মনে রাখা দরকার, মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট কাউন্ট করা হয় না। You have to that is complete it. You have to complete within 2 years, no extension. এবং কবে থেকে 2 বছর হবে? যেদিন আমি সাবমিট করলাম ওই দিন থেকে, নাকি আমার যে প্রপোজাল অ্যাকসেপ্ট হলো ওই দিন থেকে? যেদিন আমার প্রপোজাল অ্যাকসেপ্ট হবে, ইউজিসি যখন আমাকে অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স লেটার পাঠাবে, প্রপোজাল অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স লেটার পাঠাবে, সেই দিন থেকে আমার 2 বছর কাউন্টিং শুরু হবে আমার, এবং আই হ্যাভ টু কমপ্লিট ইট উইদিন 2 ইয়ার্স। 2 বছরের পরে যদি কেউ 3 বছর বা 2 বছর একদিন পরে যদি কেউ সাবমিট করে, তাহলেও কিন্তু তার মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট ইনভ্যালিড হয়ে যাবে, কাউন্টে আসবে না, তার ক্যারিয়ারে কাউন্টে আসবে না, কিছুতেই আসবে না। সেজন্য এটা খুব ভালো করে আমাদের মনে রাখা দরকার। এই ব্যাপারে আমরা বলে রাখি, আমরা সাধারণত, আমরা তো মানুষ, অনেক সময় লোভের বশবর্তী হয়ে যায়, যে ঠিক আছে মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট পেলে কি হলো, গ্রান্টস তো পেয়ে গেলাম আমরা। So in that case, the principal can take the strict decision as per his guideline given by the UGC. সেটা হতে পারে। এখন আমি আসছি যে আমরা কি প্রসিজিওরে আমরা অ্যাপ্লাই করব, যেটা সবচেয়ে ভাইটাল, এবং আমার মনে হয় যে আমাদের কলেজ টিচার যারাই আছেন প্রত্যেকেরই এই ব্যাপারটা নিয়ে, বিষয়টা নিয়ে একটু ভালো করে আমাদের জানা দরকার। কারণ আমরা অ্যাপ্লাই করার প্রসিজিওরটা এখন আমরা অপেক্ষা করতে থাকি যে কি হবে। অপেক্ষা করার কোনো সুযোগ নেই। আমাদের কি করতে হবে, ইউজিসির যে রিজিওনাল অফিসের ওয়েবসাইটে যেতে হবে। সেটা হচ্ছে আমাদের যে উত্তর পূর্বের যে রিজিওনাল অফিস, সেটা হচ্ছে নিডো, সেখানে আমরা যাব, এবং সেখানে যাওয়ার পরে সেটার লোকেশন হচ্ছে গুয়াহাটি, সেখানে আমরা যাব, এবং সেখানে ওয়েবসাইটে যাব, সেই ওয়েবসাইটে গিয়ে আমরা ক্লিক করব। ওয়েবসাইটে ক্লিক করার পরে সেটা হচ্ছে www.ugc.in.nero। ওইখানে যাওয়ার পরে উইদিন দিস পিরিয়ড, স্পেশালি ফ্রম এপ্রিল টু জুন, ওই সময় আমাদের ইয়েটা খুলে যায়, পোর্টালটা খুলে যায় রিগার্ডিং মাইনর অর মেজর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট। ওই সময় আমরা যখন প্রজেক্টের মধ্যে ক্লিক করব, ফার্স্ট যেটা আসবে সেটা হচ্ছে অ্যাবাউট দ্য প্রজেক্ট। আমরা জেনারেলি গাইডলাইন নিজেরা পড়ি, সেটা হচ্ছে সবচেয়ে আমাদের বড় প্রবলেম, যে আমরা আমাদের গাইডলাইন গুলো আমরা না পড়েই কিন্তু আমরা কি করি, অন্যের কথার উপরে ভিত্তি করে আমরা আমাদের প্রজেক্ট প্রপোজাল তৈরি করে দিই, যার ধরুন পরবর্তী সময় সেটা রিজেক্ট হয়ে যায়। আর একবার রিজেক্ট হওয়া মানে হচ্ছে আরো 1 বছরের জন্য আমাকে অপেক্ষা করতে হবে। সো অবজেক্টিভ যেটা আছে, প্রথম আসবে অবজেক্টিভ এবং এলিজিবিলিটি। তো আমাকে অবজেক্টিভ এবং এলিজিবিলিটিটা ভালো করে বলতে হবে। তারপরের সেকশনটা যেটা আসবে, পাশাপাশি সেকশনগুলো থাকে, সেটা হচ্ছে ডাউনলোড সেকশন। এটা খুব বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট এই কারণে যে ইন দিস সেকশন ইউ উইল ফাইন্ড ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেট এন্ড ফরম্যাট। ফরম্যাট যেই ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেট, আই হ্যাভ টু ডাউনলোড দ্যাট ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেট, এন্ড ফরম্যাট যেটা আছে সেটাও আমরা একবার দেখে নেব এই ফরম্যাট, কোন ফরম্যাটে এই কাজগুলো হচ্ছে। এই ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেট পরবর্তী সময় আমাকে ফিল আপ করে আমাকে আপলোড করতে হবে। সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু ডাউনলোড ফার্স্ট, প্রিন্ট ইট আউট এন্ড কিপ ইট আস, কারণ এখানে প্রিন্সিপালের সিগনেচারও লাগবে ডাউনলোড সার্টিফিকেটে, ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেটের মধ্যে সার্টিফিকেটটা ডাউনলোডের সেকশনের মধ্যে সেটা আছে। দেন I will now go to the guidelines. Guidelines এর মধ্যে আমরা ডিটেইলসটা আমরা নিয়ে নেব। গাইডলাইন্স এর একদম লাস্টে যে 7টা থেকে 8টা পেজ থাকে, সেগুলো হচ্ছে বিভিন্ন অ্যানেক্সার গুলো দেওয়া থাকে সেই গাইডলাইন্স এর মধ্যে। সেগুলো প্রত্যেকটা আমরা আমাদের পরবর্তী সময় আমাদের কাজে লাগবে, যখন আমরা সাবমিট করব বা যখন আমরা প্রপোজাল আমাদের অ্যাকসেপ্ট হবে তখন। Then we are just coming for this apply now. এখন যে অপশনটা আসবে সেটা আসবে অ্যাপ্লাই নাও এর অপশনটা। সেখানে প্রথমে আমাকে রেজিস্টার করতে হবে উইথ এ পাসওয়ার্ড। তারপরে আবার আমরা লগ ইন করবো উইথ মাই রেজিস্টার্ড আইডি এন্ড পাসওয়ার্ড। এই জিনিসগুলো আমাদেরকে রাখতে হবে, লিখে রাখতে হবে, কারণ আমি রেজিস্টার্ড হয়ে যাব। এখন আমাকে অফলাইনে পাঠাতে হবে না, আমাকে ডাইরেক্টলি আমাকে রেজিস্টার্ড হয়ে যাব আমি ইউজিসি সাইটে। তারপরে যে সেকশনটা আমার কাছে আসবে সেটা হলো সাবজেক্ট অ্যাপ্লাই। সেই সাবজেক্ট অ্যাপ্লাই দেওয়ার অপশনের মধ্যে আমি ক্লিক করবো, তখন সেখানে আসবে যে নেম অফ দ্য রিজিওনাল অফিস। এই জিনিসগুলো আমাকে অনলাইনে আমাকে সাবমিট করতে হবে। তো আমি রিজিওনাল অফিসের নামগুলো দিলাম, রিসার্চ বোর্ড দিলাম, তারপরে ব্রড সাবজেক্টটা। এখানে ব্রড সাবজেক্ট আমার কি হবে, যেমন আমি ইতিহাসের, আই উইল রাইট হিস্ট্রি, ইন দ্যাট কেস ব্রড সাবজেক্ট। দেন এরিয়া অফ স্পেশালাইজেশন, আমার এরিয়া কোনটা, আই হ্যাভ টু রাইট দিস এরিয়া অফ স্পেশালাইজেশন। দেন উইল কাম দ্য ডিউরেশন, সেখানে আমি বলবো যে আমি 2 বছরের জন্য আমি করতে চাইছি, সুতরাং আমার এটা হচ্ছে ডিউরেশন। এগুলো আমাকে ফিল আপ করতে হবে। ওই জায়গাতে একটা সেকশন আসবে আপলোড করার জন্য। ওই জায়গাতে আমি কোনটা আপলোড করব, যে ডিক্লারেশন সার্টিফিকেট আই হ্যাভ ডাউনলোডেড ফ্রম দ্য প্রিভিয়াস দ্যাট ইজ সেকশন, আই হ্যাভ টু আপলোড দিস ওয়ান। এটার চেহারাটা অনেকটা এইরকম, যে এরকম লেখা থাকবে এবং লাস্টের দিকে আমার নিজের সিগনেচার, দ্যাট ইজ আই এম মিসেলফ দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল ইনভেস্টিগেটর। এখানে যদি কোনো আমার কো ইনভেস্টিগেটর থাকে তাহলে ওনার সিগনেচার এবং প্রিন্সিপালের সিল এবং সিগনেচার, এটা নিয়ে তারপরে এটা আমাকে আপলোড করতে হবে ওই সেকশনটার মধ্যে। তো এটা হচ্ছে একটা ভাইটাল সেকশন, যেটা আমাকে ওই পোর্শনটা, ওই সার্টিফিকেটটা আমাকে আপলোড করতে হবে। এটা প্রিন্সিপাল করে দেবেন। তো এরপরে যে অপশনটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে, সেগমেন্টটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে ইনভেস্টিগেটরের ডিটেইলসটা। এখন এই ইনভেস্টিগেটরের ডিটেইলসে প্রথম যেটা আসবে সেটা হলো পার্সোনাল ডিটেইলস অফ দ্য ইনভেস্টিগেটর। সেখানে আপনার নাম বা আপনি কি করেন না করেন এগুলো ডিটেইলস আপনার পার্সোনাল আসবে, এবং ওই জায়গাতে আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, একটা ফটো আপনাকে আপলোড করতে হবে, পাসপোর্ট সাইজ ফটো আপনাকে আপলোড করতে হবে। তারপরের যে অপশনটা যেটা আসছে সেটা আসবে এক্সপিরিয়েন্স ডিটেইল। এই জায়গাতে একটা জিনিস আপনাকে কি করতে হবে, যে আপনার টিচিং এবং রিসার্চ অ্যাক্টিভিটিস যেটা আছে, এইটা আপনাকে প্রথমে একটা, আপনি আগে থেকেই সেটা তৈরি করে রেখে দিন, আপনার টিচিং এবং রিসার্চ অ্যাক্টিভিটিস, যে আপনি কত বছর থেকে কাজ করছেন এবং তার রিসার্চ অ্যাক্টিভিটিস মানে আপনার পেপারস গুলো কতগুলো, আপনি পাবলিশ বই কতগুলো পাবলিশ করেছেন, বা এবং সেটা অবশ্যই আপনার বিগত 5 বছরের জন্য, জাস্ট লাস্ট 5 ইয়ার্স। যেমন আজকে যদি আমি 2021-এ যদি সেটা করি, তাহলে এর থেকে 5 বছর আগের যে আমার পাবলিশ পেপার এবং বুকস, এইগুলোর লিস্ট আপনি তৈরি করে দেবেন। তো এই লিস্টগুলো তৈরি করার পর আপনি রেখে দেবেন একটা পিডিএফ ফাইল বানিয়ে, এবং এটা আপনাকে আপলোড করতে হবে এই জায়গার মধ্যে। সো ইউ হ্যাভ টু আপলোড দ্য পেপারস এন্ড বুকস পাবলিশড। সো আপনি কখনো আপনার 5 বছরের আগেরটা পাবলিশ করতে যাবেন বা দিতে যাবেন। এটা ইউজিসি খুব মাইনুটলি এই জিনিসগুলো আমাদের দেখে থাকে। আমরা মনে করি যে এগুলো দেখে না, কিন্তু প্রত্যেকটা জিনিস ওরা ফুটিয়ে ফুটিয়ে এই জিনিসগুলো দেখে ওরা, যখন ওরা আমাদের প্রপোজাল গুলো নিয়ে বসে। তারপরে আপনি আসবে, যে জিনিসটা আসবে সেটা হলো প্রজেক্ট ডিটেলস। এটা খুব বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট আমাদের জন্য। প্রজেক্ট ডিটেলস এর মধ্যে যেটা আসবে সেটা হলো যে প্রজেক্ট অ্যাপ্লাইড ফর, আমি কি প্রজেক্টের জন্য অ্যাপ্লাই করছি। তারপরে আসছে আমাদের বিষয়বস্তু, সেটা বি সেকশনে আসবে যে প্রপোজড রিসার্চ ওয়ার্ক। এটা ম্যাক্সিমাম 2500 ওয়ার্ডস এর ভিতরে আপনাকে সমস্ত জিনিসগুলো লিখতে হবে। এটা আপনাকে খেয়াল রাখতে হবে যে শুধুমাত্র ইন্ট্রোডাকশন লেখার সময় 2500 পেজ বা অবজেক্টিভ লেখার সময় 2500 ওয়ার্ডস আমি লিখে দিলাম, তা নয়। কিন্তু আমাদেরকে কি করতে হবে যে প্রজেক্ট টাইটেল, ইন্ট্রোডাকশন, অবজেক্টিভস, মেথোডোলজি, ইয়ার ওয়াইজ প্ল্যান, এই সমস্ত কিছু মানে বি সেকশনের আন্ডারে যা হবে সেগুলো আমরা অনলাইন, সেগুলো আমরা কি করব, লিখতে হবে আমাদেরকে। আপনি আগে একটা ওয়ার্ডের মধ্যে আপনার ফাইলের মধ্যে লিখে নিন, তারপরে এগুলোকে কপি পেস্ট করে করে আপনি এই জিনিসগুলো করতে পারবেন। কিন্তু আপনাকে ম্যাক্সিমাম 2500 ওয়ার্ডস এর মধ্যেই আপনাকে কমপ্লিট করতে হবে এটা। তারপর যেমন কি লিখবেন সেখানে, প্রজেক্ট টাইটেল আপনি লিখলেন। প্রজেক্ট টাইটেল লেখার পর আপনাকে লিখতে হবে প্রজেক্ট এর যে ইন্ট্রোডাকশনটা, সেটা আপনি ইন্ট্রোডাকশনটা এখানে আপনি কি লিখতে চাইছেন, কি করতে চাইছেন, প্রজেক্টটা আপনার কি টাইপের, এটা একটা পুরো ইন্ট্রোডাকশনটা আপনাকে তৈরি করতে হবে। এরপরে যেটা আসছে সেটা হচ্ছে অবজেক্টিভস। এই জায়গাতে বিশেষভাবে হচ্ছে ভালো করে আমাদের যে প্রজেক্ট ডিটেলস গুলো দেখে যে মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্ট পাঠানোর সাথে সাথেই অ্যাকসেপ্ট হয়ে যাবে এরকম কোনো কিন্তু কিছু কিন্তু নেই। আমাদের কিন্তু মাইনর রিসার্চ প্রজেক্টটা কিন্তু অবশ্যই আমাদেরকে কি করতে হবে, ভালো করে ওরা কিন্তু দেখিয়ে দিচ্ছে। সেই জন্য আমাদের অবজেক্টিভসটা কি এটা কিন্তু ভালো করে দেখবে ওরা। সুতরাং অবজেক্টিভটা কিরকম হবে যে আমি আজকে আমার যেটা প্রজেক্ট, যেটা টাইটেল যেটা করলাম বা যেটা আমি প্রপোজাল তৈরি করতে যাচ্ছি, তার আসল উদ্দেশ্যটা কি, তা কি। এখানে অবজেক্টিভস মানেই হচ্ছে যে আমরা কিসের জন্য রিসার্চটা স্টার্ট করলাম, এটা আলটিমেটলি এটা কি হবে, কেন করছি, কোন কোন বিষয়ের জন্য আমরা করছি, আমাদের ফাইন্ডিংসটা কি হতে হবে, সেইগুলো জিনিস আপনাকে লিখতে হবে। তারপর আসছে যেমন মেথোডোলজি। মেথোডোলজির মধ্যে এই জায়গাতে আপনি বিভিন্ন আপনার যে মেথডসটা, যেমন আমি বলি একটা উদাহরণ দিয়ে, যেমন আমি মাইগ্রেশনের উপরে কাজ করেছি, আমাকে কি কি জিনিস করতে হয়েছে। আমি কোনো সময় ইয়েতে গেছি, আমার ট্রাইবাল ওয়েলফেয়ার অফিসে গেছি, আমি গেছি লাইব্রেরিতে, আমি গেছি ন্যাশনাল লাইব্রেরিতে গেছি, আমি ওইখানে বা কারোর সঙ্গে আমি ইন্টারভিউ নিয়েছি, ওই সময় আমি আমার কিছু বই পড়েছি, আমি কারো এরকম বিভিন্ন বিষয়গুলো যে যে বিষয়ের উপরে ভিত্তি করে আপনি আপনার প্রপোজালটা বা রিসার্চ ওয়ার্কটা তৈরি করবেন, সেই মেথডটা আপনাকে লিখতে হবে পুরো ব্যাপারটা। এবং যে আমি ইনফ্যাক্ট যদি কারো ইন্টারভিউ যদি হয়ে থাকে যে আমি ইন্টারভিউ নিতে পারি ওই সময়, সেটাও আপনি মেনশন করে দিতে পারেন যে আই এম গোয়িং টু টেক দ্য ইন্টারভিউ। অনেক সময় হতে পারে যে আপনি অরাল ইন্টারভিউ নিচ্ছেন বা অরাল হিস্ট্রির উপরে ভিত্তি করতে যাচ্ছেন। আপনি আর্কিওলজিক্যাল ডিপার্টমেন্টের উপরে কাজ করলে আপনি আর্কিওলজিক্যাল সার্ভেতে যাবেন বা ওই আর্কিওলজি ডিপার্টমেন্টে আপনি সাইট ভিজিট করবেন, আপনি মিউজিয়ামে যাবেন, নিউমিসমেটিক এভিডেন্সেস থাকলে ওইগুলো আপনি দেখবেন। আপনি যা যা প্রসেসে যে যে রাস্তায় আপনি আপনার প্রজেক্টটাকে আলটিমেট শেপটা দেবেন, এটাই হচ্ছে মেথড, মানে হচ্ছে পদ্ধতি সোজা বাংলায়। কারণ অনেকগুলো ভারী ভরকম ইংলিশ ওয়ার্ড গুলো আছে মেথোডোলজির ব্যাপারে, সেই ওয়ার্ড গুলো আমরা অনেক সময় আমরা চিন্তা করি যে এই ওয়ার্ড গুলো ইউজ করবো কিনা না। কিন্তু ফ্রম মাই পার্সোনাল এক্সপিরিয়েন্স আমি একটা জিনিস দেখেছি যে সিম্পল কথাগুলো লিখতে হয়, যে আমি ওই কাজগুলো করব, আমার মেথডসটা হচ্ছে এই মেথডসে আমি কাজগুলো করতে পারি। কিন্তু এছাড়াও একটা লাইন আবার ওইটার মধ্যেও লিখতে হয় যে যদি এই মেথডের বাইরে গিয়ে আমার কোনো কাজ করতে হয় তাহলে আলটিমেটলি সেটা আমার ফাইনাল রিপোর্টের মধ্যে আমি লিখে নেব। যে আমি তো এই মুহূর্তে বলতে পারছি না যে আরো কোন মেথডের মাধ্যমে গেলে পরে আমার কাজটা কমপ্লিট হবে। সো I have to write in this methodology and also in the objectives. The objectives might be changed. কারণ আমি যখন আমার রিসার্চ ওয়ার্ক করতে যাব, এই একটা লাইন কিন্তু আপনি লাস্টে একবার লিখে দেবেন যে আমি আমার কাজের সময় যদি করতে গিয়ে যদি কোনো কারণে আমার অবজেক্টিভ বা মেথোডোলজির কোনো বিষয় যদি চেঞ্জ হয়ে যায়, তাহলে আই মে চেঞ্জ ইট এন্ড আই উইল শো ইট ইন মাই ফাইনাল প্রেজেন্টেশন অর ফাইনাল সাবমিশন, আমি বলতে পারি। তো এই জিনিসগুলো লেখাটা খুব বেশি দরকারি। তারপরে ধরুন ইয়ার ওয়াইজ প্ল্যানিংটা আসবে, এটা খুব বেশি ইম্পর্টেন্ট। কারণ আপনাকে 2 বছর দেওয়া হবে, ফার্স্ট ইয়ারে আপনার প্ল্যানিংটা কি, আপনার ওয়ার্কটা কি, এটা আপনাকে দিতে হবে। এবং আরেকটা হচ্ছে যে আপনাকে ফার্স্ট ইয়ারের পরে আপনাকে আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে ফার্স্ট ইয়ার প্ল্যানিং এবং সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে আপনি কি করবেন সেটাও আপনাকে কিন্তু আলটিমেটলি দিতে হবে। তো এই জিনিসগুলো আপনি দেওয়ার পর আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে ডেট অফ কোলাবোরেশন ইফ নিডেড। যদি ডেট অফ কারোর সাথে যদি কোনো আপনি ডেট কোলাবোরেশনে যান, যদি কারোর সাথে কোলাবোরেশনে যান, তাহলে সেই কোলাবোরেশনের লেটারটা আপনাকে সেখানে দিতে হবে। এখন ফিনান্সিয়াল অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্স গুলো আমরা জেনারেলি পেয়ে থাকি, এই জিনিসগুলো আমাদেরকে খুব ভালো করে মনে রাখা দরকার যে রিসার্চ হ্যাজ টু সাবমিট অল দ্য রিকোয়ার্ড ফিনান্সিয়াল অ্যাসিস্ট্যান্স অ্যাজ পার ক্যাটাগরি এন্ড রেকারিং এন্ড নন রেকারিং। এখানে সবচেয়ে ইম্পর্টেন্টটা হচ্ছে যে এখানে আমাদেরকে আপলোড করতে হবে প্রিন্সিপালের রিকমেন্ডেশনটা। এবং আমাদের প্রত্যেকটা ওয়ার্ক আমরা কি কি কাজে আমরা টাকা খরচ করব, we are to specify the name, একটা কোটেশনের মতো বানিয়ে সেটাকেও দিতে হবে ওই জায়গাতে। আগে যে আমাদেরকে রেকর্ডিং এবং নন রেকর্ডিং এর কথা যেটা বলেছি, সেই রেকর্ডিং এর জায়গাতে কত টাকা বা কত টাকার যেটা মানে কোন খাতে আপনি কত টাকা দেবেন সেটা আপনি লিখবেন ভালো করে। এবং এছাড়া আপনাকে একটা কি করতে হবে যে আপনার যে ইকুইপমেন্টস এর পারপাসে আপনি স্পেশালি একটা কোটেশন তৈরি করতে হবে আপনাকে, এবং সেগুলো আগে থেকেই তৈরি করে রাখবেন তা যাতে আপনি চট করে কাজগুলো করতে পারেন। কারণ ইউজিসির যে যখন সাইটটা খুলে তখন সেই সাইটটা অসম্ভব পরিমাণে বিজি থাকে, পুরো একটা দিন লেগে যায় অনেক সময় এই কাজগুলোকে আপলোড করতে করতে। সেই জন্য আপনার আগে থেকেই জিনিসগুলো রেডি রাখলে পরে আপনার কাজ করতে সুবিধা হবে। এবং এই জায়গাতে আপনাকে আরেকটা জিনিস আপলোড করতে হবে, সেটা হলো আপলোড করতে হবে প্রিন্সিপালের একটা লেটার, যেটা আমি পাশে দিয়ে দিয়েছি, যেটা আপনি পেয়ে যাবেন সেই ডিক্লারেশনের সেকশনের একদম লাস্টের দিকে একটা জায়গা যেখানে প্রিন্সিপাল সার্টিফাই করবেন আপনার কাজে, এটাকে আপনাকে এই জায়গাতে আপলোড করতে হবে। তারপরে আপনাকে ডিক্লারেশন এবং সাবমিশন আপনি করে দিলেন, সাবমিশন আপনি কনসার্ন অফিসে করে দিলেন। এরপর আপনাকে এটা প্রিন্ট আউট আসবে, সেই প্রিন্ট আউটটাকে আপনি আবার সাপোর্টিভ ডকুমেন্টস যেগুলো আপনি আপলোড করেছেন সেগুলোকে ডকুমেন্টস গুলো নিয়ে আপনি আপনার কনসার্ন যে রিজনাল অফিস আছে সেই রিজনাল অফিসে আপনি প্রিন্সিপালের পেডে ফরওয়ার্ড করে সেটা আপনি পাঠিয়ে দেবেন ওই রিজনাল অফিসে। এই জায়গাতে এখন আসছি যে তার পরবর্তী স্টেপটা কি। তার পরবর্তীতে আপনার জিনিসটা ওরা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করলো, ধরুন আপনার কাজটা ভগবানের কৃপায় আপনার কাজটা অ্যাকসেপ্ট করলো, অ্যাকসেপ্ট করার পরে আপনাকে অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স একটা লেটার ওরা পাঠাবে, এবং ঠিক সেই সময় আপনাকে সাথে সাথে একটা অ্যানেক্সার 2 তে আছে, সেটা গাইডলাইন্সের একদম নিচে অ্যানেক্সার 2 আছে, অ্যানেক্সার 8টা আছে, সেই অ্যানেক্সার 8টার মধ্যে অ্যানেক্সার 2 যেটা আছে সেটাতে অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স সার্টিফিকেট একটা আছে, সেটা অবশ্যই আপনাকে কমপ্লিট করে খুব 15 দিনের ভেতরে সেই অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স সার্টিফিকেটটা পাঠাতে হবে ইউজিসির কাছে। অনেকেই সেই অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স লেটারটা পাঠান না, পাঠানোর ফলে ওনার পুরো কাজটাই কিন্তু শেষ হয়ে যায়। সেই জন্য অ্যাকসেপ্টেন্স লেটারটা দয়া করে আপনারা উইদিন 15 ডেজ জাস্ট আফটার রিসিভিং ফ্রম দ্য লেটার আপনারা পাঠাবেন। তারপরে রিলিজ প্রসিজিওর ফর রিলিজ কিভাবে প্রসেস করে এটা একবার দেখে নেবেন। আপনার যে অ্যামাউন্টটা আপনি যদি 3 লাখ টাকার যদি পাঠান সেই 3 লাখ টাকা ওরা স্যাংশন নাও করতে পারে, আপনাকে হয়তো দিতে পারে 2 লাখ টাকা। সো 2 লাখ টাকা যখন গ্রান্টস দেবে সেই গ্রান্টসগুলো কিরকম হয়ে থাকে যে ফার্স্ট ইনস্টলমেন্টে আপনাকে নন রেকারিং গ্রান্টসের 100% দিয়ে দেবে, কিন্তু রেকারিং গ্রান্টসের আপনাকে 50% গ্রান্টস হিসেবে অ্যালট করবে। তারপরে সেকেন্ড ইনস্টলমেন্ট দেওয়ার সময় এটা হচ্ছে ভাইটাল ব্যাপার, যে সেকেন্ড ইনস্টলমেন্ট যখন সে দেবে তখন আপনাকে দেবে অনলি 40%, যেটা বাকি রইল এর 40% দেবে, মানে রেকারিং গ্রান্টসের 40% দেবে। কিন্তু তার আগে ইউ হ্যাভ টু সাবমিট অ্যানুয়াল প্রগ্রেস রিপোর্ট, তারপরে স্টেটমেন্ট অফ এক্সপেন্ডিচার এবং ইউটিলাইজেশন সার্টিফিকেট অফ দ্য ফার্স্ট ইনস্টলমেন্ট অফ দ্য গ্রান্ট। এগুলো না হলে কিন্তু আপনাকে সেকেন্ড ইনস্টলমেন্ট আপনাকে দেবে না, এটা একটা ভালো করে খেয়াল রাখবেন। 1 বছর পরে, 1 বছর মনে করুন জানুয়ারির 1 তারিখে আপনার প্রপোজাল অ্যাকসেপ্ট হলো, 31 ডিসেম্বরের পরে উইদিন 6 weeks you have to submit your utilization certificate along with the progress report। এবং আপনার প্রথম 1 বছরের, এই 1 বছরের দেওয়ার পরেই কিন্তু আপনাকে 40% এর বাকি যেটা আছে সেটা আপনাকে ওরা পাঠাবে। তারপর যেটা ফাইনাল ইনস্টলমেন্ট যেটা রইল, সেই ফাইনাল ইনস্টলমেন্টটার যে 10% যেটা রইল সেটা তখনই পাঠাবে যখন আপনার বাকি কাজটা কমপ্লিট কাজটা আপনি শেষ করবেন, এবং শেষ করার পরে আপনি আপনার যাবতীয় যেমন ফাইনাল রিপোর্ট আপনি পাঠাবেন, এবং তারপরে যেগুলো জিনিস আপনার দরকার ইউটিলাইজেশন সার্টিফিকেট সমস্ত কিছু আপনি পাঠাবেন। এবং সেই জন্য আপনাকে ফিল আপ করতে হবে, সবচেয়ে ভাইটাল জিনিস হচ্ছে যে সেই ডিক্লারেশনের সেই যে আমরা যে আগে যেটা পড়েছিলাম যেটা একটা ইউজিসির যেটা থাকবে চিঠিটা থাকবে, তার যে 18 পাতার বা 16 পাতার একটা থাকে, ওইখানে নিচের দিকে একদম লাস্টের দিকে 8টা পেজের মধ্যে অ্যানেক্সার দেওয়া থাকে, সেখানে অ্যানেক্সার 3 থেকে অ্যানেক্সার 8 পর্যন্ত এই সমস্ত অ্যানেক্সার গুলোকে আপনাকে কমপ্লিট করতে হবে। সেই কমপ্লিশন করে তারপর আপনাকে ফাইনাল রিপোর্ট আপনার যে যেটা প্রপোজাল হলো সেটা দিয়ে আপনাকে পাঠাতে হবে, তারপরই আপনার ফাইনাল ইনস্টলমেন্ট আপনার বাকি যে 10% ইনস্টলমেন্টটা ডিসবার্স হবে, আদারওয়াইজ আপনার কাজ হবে না। এবং যদি আপনি কোনো কারণে 2 বছর যদি কমপ্লিট করে ফেলেন তাহলে কিন্তু আপনার তাহলে কিন্তু আপনি ফাইনাল ইনস্টলমেন্ট আসবেই না, বরং আপনি আরো প্রবলেম ফেস করবেন। এই হচ্ছে অ্যানুয়াল রিপোর্টের আরেকটা হচ্ছে অ্যানুয়াল রিপোর্ট সাবমিশন, এটা অ্যানেক্সার 6 এ আছে। সেখানে এই রিপোর্টটা কেন বলছি যে এই জিনিসটা অ্যানুয়াল রিপোর্ট সাবমিশনটা যেটা রয়েছে সেটা আপনাকে দুবার দিতে হবে, একটা হচ্ছে অ্যানুয়াল, একটা হচ্ছে ফাইনাল। প্রপোজাল মানে অ্যানেক্সার 6 যেটা আছে সেটা আপনি বছরে 2 বছরে আপনি দুবার দেবেন, এবং এটাকে একটা কাটারও একটা অপশন রয়েছে। একটা হচ্ছে যে অ্যানুয়াল লেখা আছে, অ্যানুয়াল অবলিক ফাইনাল রিপোর্ট। যখন আপনার অ্যানুয়াল দেবেন, আর যখন অ্যানুয়াল শেষ হয়ে গেলে পরে ফাইনাল রিপোর্টেও সেম প্রফর্মা থাকবে, সেই অ্যানেক্সার এটাও আপনাকে কমপ্লিট করে দিতে হবে, এবং সেটা প্রথম বছরে 6 সপ্তাহের মধ্যেই আপনাকে দিতে হবে শেষ করার, না হলে কিন্তু আপনার হবে না। এবং কিছু কিছু জিনিস ম্যান্ডেটরি, যেটা প্রিন্সিপাল স্যার নিজেরা দেখবেন, যে যে প্রপোজাল গুলো আপনার আলটিমেটলি প্রপোজাল অ্যাকসেপ্টেড হলো, তখন শেষ হওয়ার পরে এক্সিকিউটিভ সামারিটা, রিসার্চ ডকুমেন্ট, মনোগ্রাফস, একাডেমিক পেপার যেগুলো পাবলিশ করলেন ওই 2 বছরের মধ্যে, সবগুলো কিন্তু আপনাকে কলেজের ওয়েবসাইটে দিতে হবে। এবং আরেকটা জিনিস হচ্ছে যে সেটা সবচেয়ে ভাইটাল, যে ইফ দ্য প্রিন্সিপাল ইনভেস্টিগেটর ফেলস টু কমপ্লিট দ্য প্রজেক্ট, হি অর শি হ্যাজ টু রিফান্ড দ্য এন্টায়ার অ্যামাউন্ট। তো এই হচ্ছে আমার মনে হয় যে অল্প সময়ের মধ্যে আমি যতগুলো বলার চেষ্টা করেছি, এরপরে আর আশা করি কিছুটা হলেও সুবিধে হবে। তো কতটুকু আমি আমাদের ভাইদের বা বোনদের জন্য, আমাদের কলিগদের জন্য আমি করতে পারলাম আমি জানি না, কিন্তু আমরা জেনারেলি আমরা একটা জিনিস দেখি যে আমাদের কলেজ টিচাররা অনেক সময় ওভার কনফিডেন্সে কাজগুলোকে খুব সাধারণ একটা কাজকে, সামান্য কাজগুলোকে আমরা অল্প অল্প ভুলের জন্য আমরা কিন্তু আমাদের প্রজেক্টগুলো থেকে আমরা দূরে সরে যাই। তো আমি সবাইকে অনুরোধ করব, দয়া করে যখনই আপনারা মাইনর রিসার্চের প্রজেক্টটাতে যখন যাবেন, তখন আপনারা অবশ্যই এই প্রজেক্টগুলোকে আপনারা দেখবেন। ধন্যবাদ সবাইকে, নমস্কার।
Information is my friend also, and we have come to know so many things from him. I do hope in the coming days, while preparing the proposal for research proposal, it will help a lot. So once again, I am expressing my thanks and gratitude to my friend Dr. Nilanjan Dey, and hope on the coming days, whenever we will be inviting you, we will be also responding. Thank you, sir, for your
very much happy.
presentation.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you. So, actually, due to network problem, I was not there in the very beginning of these lecture sessions. As I am chairing this session, so I would like to share few words with the participants and the other dignitaries. A very good morning to all. As I am also one of the member of organizing committee of today's National E-Conference on Project Methodology, so I welcome one and all to this national conference. This is a joint venture. Department of Physics along with Department of History are organizing this important and useful program. I do hope and believe the student fraternity, particularly the 6th semester students, both honors and general courses, will get benefited a lot from these conference. HODs of Department of Physics and Department of History took special initiative for organizing this special kind of conference. My sincere thanks to them. The principal in charge and president of this session of this national conference, Sri Gautam Das, always inspiring us, helping us, motivating us from the leading point. My sincere thanks to Sir also. I sincerely thanks all the faculty members, other officials, and all the participants across the country. My thanks and gratitude to all the resource persons who spared their valuable time for making this conference a fruitful one. We are happy that today we have with us Dr. Nilanjan Dey already delivered his lecture. Very nicely he has presented, and from his deliberation we have come to know a lot and hope this will help the young researcher who are pursuing their research, and how to write the proposal also is very nicely presented. And we have with us Dr. Rahul Virchaji, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, State Chandra Vidya Sagar College, Belonia, Tripura. We have with us Dr. Pulendu Chandra Das, Department of Environmental Science, Panchong University College, Aizawl, Mizoram. And the last we have Devobroto Das, Department of Mechanical Engineering, IIT, Palakattu, Kerala. So I am lucky and honored to invite Dr. Rahul Varchaji, Associate Professor, Department of Physics, Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar College, Vilonia, Tripura, for presentation. So let me say a few words as we are running short. So, with very brief, I would like to say something for Dr. Rahul Varchaji, Associate Professor, Vilonia College. Dr. Rahul Varchaji graduated from Guwahati University, Assam. He did his PhD degree from Tripura University. He was very actively engaged in experimental and theoretical research work in condensed matter physics. Dr. Varchaji published 22 numbers of research papers in national and international repute of journals. His present research interest in study in physical properties of semiconducting samples using density functional theory. Dr. Borcharji will be talking on the topic methods followed by a student for writing a scientific project report. I do hope, particularly the sixth semester students, it will help a lot how to write very nicely a research project, how to pursue a research project, what steps to be followed. On that, he will be enlightening us. So, from my core of the heart, I am inviting Dr. Rahul Bhattacharjee to share his valuable presentation. Dr. Rahul Bhattacharjee, sir, please.
Um, Thank you, Dr. Raghunandan Das, for your nice introductions. I also like to thank Principal Government Degree College Dharmanagar and Organizing Secretary Abhijit Das, Convener Dr. Sujit Ranjan Das, and other members of Physics Department and History Department of Dharmanagar College to give me a scope to speak in this conference. Now, my talk is basically, as Raghu rightly said, that I am basically prepare my talk viewing the sixth semester student of Tripura University. Basically, 2014. Let me share my slides. Uh, my slides is visible, Raghu.
Not visible yet. Yes, it is. Yeah, it is
Yeah.
visible now.
Okay, thank you. So let me start this way. Actually, basically, it is only for the students. Actually, I prepared for this lecture prepared for only for my students. Now, is basically the 2014, and in the year 2014, Tripura University introduced in their syllabus the project for every student of 6 semesters. Now I covering basically I will cover this for the science students and physics, chemistry, and physics, chemistry, and mathematics in part. So how a student can do a project work, it's very important. I also told many times student that project is yours. You think in which subject you will do the projects. So this is a special, you can show your speciality, you can show your interest in your project. Other all things are inside your syllabus. Inside the syllabus you have to do what university provide. Within the syllabus what you provide from department you have to read, but project is yours. Project is you will select something topics uh, which is your interest. Show your interest. Show your ability. Show your knowing the subject, so it will help you in future also. So let me what is a student project? Actually, basically I start like this. So what is a student project? Any project involves a student or group of students. Sometimes in our last 4 years, we find that student individually do the project, but sometimes we also give something group work. So do a something project in a group work or group of students working under the guidance and direction of a teacher. Generally we call this supervisor. So supervisor are basically fixed by department. So every student or a group of students have one supervisor. So a project involves planning and development, a schedule of study, an outcome to be achieved over a period of time. So you have something like period of time where you have to submit your projects. So university or department will say in this period you will submit your project. Now I want to say selection of topic first and foremost step for a student. So you have to select first a topic. Now selection of topic, whenever I find a student of say 6th semester, he comes with a certain topics that I want to say do these topics in project in these topics. So I say, do you have any materials on this? Sometimes student confused. So before, so I will tell you students of other, if they present in the in this conference, the fourth and those are fifth semester student, please think your project, sixth semester project, before you come to sixth semester. Means from fourth semester, starting from fourth semester, and from in fifth semester also, you think about your something projects as project you want to do. Now broadly we can specify in two way. We can divide the science project basically in two way. One is called theoretical project and is called experimental projects. Now depending on your availability of resources. Means if you see the department, what are the department of resources according to supervisor. Suppose Dharmanagar college, both of the teachers or both of your faculty members are experienced in a theoretical research project, but maybe also they say okay, do something experimental projects also. So in our case also, we have something like we offer student also say do some theoretical project, do some experimental projects. So you can choose a certain topics from yourself or from a supervisor, and also supervisor can give you something works. Sometimes we give to 5 or 6 students according to the ability of the students, according to their sincerity, we give them something like topics that you to do the research in this topic. Other students who are not so sincere, we say you do yourself, your way of thinking. So maybe this is actually this is student project is fruitful for my case. Maybe other faculty members say other way. 20 to 30% have submitted good projects. I say what is my experience for the last 4 and 5 years, I find 20 to 25% students submit a good projects. Other students are not follow them. So those who are wants to do a good project, I am targeting them. So I am targeting 20 or 25% of students of 6th semester students. So first of all, first of all, you choose a topics which is your likings, and then you collect materials. So your supervisor, you say this is the materials you collect. As if you choose if you find that this is a theoretical project, then to collect something materials, study materials in this regards. And nowadays material is available in websites, so you have not bother about that where from I collect it. So all things are available in websites, so you just collect and concentrate them. So you first of all collect and concentrate, you take times to collection and don't jump into the conclusions first. I have to do the projects and complete it within this month, and hurriedly I decide. But you take times, think about it, what should be your project title, and what are the materials you require for that. Now for those who are experimental one, that the student of 5 to 10% do, sometimes I will also offer many students to do something experimental work. Now experimental, for doing experiment you need some resources. What are the resources available in your department? Sometimes every physics department, or say chemistry, or say bioscience department, they have something, the sophisticated instrument, like say uh, signal generator have, they have uh, CRO, cathode ray oscillator. Sometimes some colleges have UV spectrophotometers. Some have other type of biological, for study they have other type of equipments are there. So based on their equipments, you can go for practical choose a practical projects. You can take help of the something like something like research institute. There are many research institute there in and around Agartala. Say suppose ICR, Indian Indian agriculture, cultivation of agriculture, ICAR, agriculture research. Then you can fishery department, you can approach to the NIT also. They have many datas, available datas are there. So this research institute have some data, or you can generate biological science, they have the local datas are available. So datas are available. So first of all, you have to be a data. For doing experimental research you have to data, and then analyze the data. Okay, then I will tell the student, for analyzing you need some software also, something like origin software. For data analyzing, for you read something origin software. For that you need something help from the others, that how to run origin. This very one day, one in a day we can, you can handle this origin software, or you can also do it by Microsoft Excel also. So for data analysis you need something, drawing of graph, drawing of drawing software. So drawing software is very popular software. People know this. Many faculty members know how to data analyze the data using the some common softwares. So data are there, so you can analyze this one. Now I go to step by step how you write. Suppose after choosing the topics, after doing going the extensive survey, you now go to write the projects. So you are in a state of writing the project. So after choosing, after supervisor explanations, your interest, so after viewing all these things, after completion of all these things, you go for writing the projects. Now you should have this type of this is a common writing project. Maybe you cannot there is 11 or 12 standard methods are there, so you can follow any one, or maybe you skip few, because maybe for a 6 month it's not possible to go for everything. So I just show you some standard way of writing. You may not you may be may diverted from this one, because your supervisor also have some views on that. But common writing of project is like this. So first is that you have a title page. So like books, as you in a books there is a title page is there. So title page bears the title of your projects in the center of the page within the double inverted comma. Example project title, suppose I write a design and study of transistor amplifier, I choose a topics like this. So is suppose a student chooses topics like star formations in a theoretical physics concepts, say star formations. I say suppose I write a design and study a transistor, I will develop a transistor amplifier in a breadboard, and by using function generator and CRO, I study this simple circuit. So you need something like, for you are planning say design and study of transistor amplifier at a lower end. So you write it in the topics first, topics name, and then in lower end of the corner of page you write your names. You write name, supervision name you optional. Why I write optional? Sometimes department do not say like this, say do not provide the supervision, you don't put supervision name, instead you write HOD names or something like this. So do not put, so it is optional. So supervisor names you can, if you supervisor provided from your department, you write your supervisor name. So supervision name, then under supervision of, so you can write like this way, under supervision of omuk I'm doing this project. So you can also shift this supervisor name from middle of the page also. Department name, name of the department, which department you belongs to, college names, and roll number, registration number, etc. You mentions everything on the first page. Now, second page, table of content. As you see in the books, there is a table of content. So list the tabular from the and form the specification section of your papers and page numbers where they begin. So as for example, suppose a certificate of from the supervisor. So sometimes a supervisor provide a certificate, or department HOD provide a certificate that this man, the students do this project or under my supervision such and such and dates. So supervisor provide a certificate, so you put this certificate also in this project reports. So certificate from the supervisor and an abstract. I tell you what is abstract, and then introductions and hypothesis. So everything you in a tabular form, you mentioned in a tabular form, that way we find in books table of contents. So I told you, you may form only 5 to 6% student, 5 to 6% student, I find they did projects in a beautiful manner. They have so many show their interest in this project preparation. So I am actually basically targeting them, 5 or 10%. Others are producing as usual, as a common things they are submitting to the department. So I am targeting those 5-6%, those who want to career in science, those who career in science and research and science, education and research, those who want to make their career in research and education and research. For them this is the that is the report. So you have to be prepared table of contents, then abstract. Then what does the abstract means for student? The abstract is shortened version of your entire project work. Suppose your project say suppose 30 or 40 page. So in a single paragraph you mention what you done, what you have done in your projects. So only supervisor or any teacher read only your abstract. He or she will not go to all the pages. So other can read your abstract. If they do not have time to read your paper, nobody nowadays has to read all of your project report. So they will try to understand from your abstract what you have done, what your value of work. Is your value of work is very good, or a general work. So they will understand from the abstract. In abstract have the following three information. What is the purpose of study? Suppose you choose a amplifier, PNP design of a PNP amplifier. So purpose, so you want to see the amplifications of how amplifier works. Then procedure, how amplifier procedure means what are the procedure of amplifying the signal, কিভাবে একটা signal amplify হয়. You cannot provide the graph here, so you say that the amplify the signal beta is the amplification factor. So you mention this procedure and the result, that yes, I did this experiment, I make this amplifier and find that the theoretical that already mentioned theoretical result are my experimental results are same, and beta values comes because beta is very important factor. So you mention the beta. In theoretical case you also make some say suppose star formations or solar flares, suppose solar flares or something like astrophysical phenomena you want to mention. So you means what are the results, what is the observations result by many telescopic observation result. So you this mention in the abstract should be in a single paragraph, as short suppose 500 words, not more than this. Don't write more than this, otherwise it is meaningless. So you restrict your abstract within 500 words. Then introductions, write down introductions about the topics. Like if you say suppose semiconductors, you write down something semiconductor, PNP transistors, what are the amplifiers, what is that, what is beta, what is the current amplification factor. So you mention something introductions in this fashion. So or you can also purpose of the study, say why you have studied this thing. So introductions you can historical background or something non-scientific or non-expression type of word you mention introduction. You just go to the books and find that they're writing these introductions of the subject. So introduction, follow something introduction, write something introduction, not more than one and a half a page. Do not go beyond this. Nobody has time to read everything. So you write introductions 1.5 page. Then hypothesis. Basically, a hypothesis is very important. A hypothesis is a proposed explanation for a phenomenon. For a hypothesis to be scientific hypothesis, the scientific methods required that one can test it. Scientists generally base scientific hypothesis on previous observation that cannot be satisfactorily be explained with the available scientific theories. A hypothesis, very common term, a hypothesis is an educated guess about what you think will occur as a result from conducting the selected experiments. So you know how a amplifier works. Amplifier works, it will amplify a signals. Amplify a signal. So these are the prevailing hypotheses are available. Nowadays, a hypothesis on corona is coming every day. There is a hypothesis on corona. Corona, there will be third generation. There will be variant is there. So everybody have this some scientific, some not scientific hypothesis on corona. I say today I find that once a vaccinations will give kill everyone. So there is a unscientific hypothesis there, but hypothesis must be a scientific one. So you cannot say something hypothetical one. Hypothetical. So hypothesis, when you make a hypothesis, hypothesis means the previous study. What are the available scientific explanations available on these topics? Suppose you are selecting, say, star formations or something like in something like a solar system. So what are the prevailing theories are there? You can mention this, that gravitational forces are there. So you mention that part, that scientific part is something equation. You write something equation, something like gravitational force, or in case of, say, experimental result, you write something like what are the result available, what are the things are available in literature. So sometimes students maybe I find a 2 3 student, it's very rare student, they go through a literature also. They study some literature, means the original papers, they read some original papers. So this is the depend on the student ability, student writing, reading ability, thinking ability. So depend, if you think that yes I can, then you go to the literature. So tell supervisor to provide you some paper. The supervisor will give you some literature. So go to the literatures. If you have the ability, then go to the literatures, study it properly, and make a hypothesis on this. That from literature I find that this is the work has been done. This is the work has been done. So making a hypothesis is very important part, and understanding the subject from hypothesis, a student caliber to understand any topics, we can judge it. Then material use, some this is for the those who are using the experimental one. So if you use this transistor, so transistor say BC547, or say you are using a fat which is BFW10. So you mention the what are the materials you use. Say suppose a function generator used, a CRO used. So you mentioned all the materials what you are used in this one. Also they mention the ranges, because when you use the instrument, we also mention the instrument, and then instrument then calibrations, what is the instrument. Also materials, when you use the materials, we also mention the many specific scientific specification that if you have this specification, you can find in NAT these specifications are available. So from this you collect this specification. Suppose transistor BC547, so you collect the specification report and mention in this material used, also list all the materials with their proper specification used in the project. So you mention this. Sometimes also we provide a student to make a 5-volt power supply. So 5-volt power supply, they have need a transformer, 5-volt power cell. Suppose IC 7805 maybe, okay, for 5-volt power supply, or something like IC regulated power supply. So so list of materials they collected, list of materials, but it is available in Agartala, I know it. This if you want to make a power supply, these are easily available in your locality. So you design it and study it. You design a power IC regulated power supply and study it. See this, it is output, how output is coming, how the signals is pure AC, or you obtain say pure AC, or pure DC, or something like how much DC is there. So you can study from CRO also, from your CRO also, what are the what are the available results. So you can mention these results. Procedure, as you know, the every experimental study, you have to mention the procedure. Also theoretical, you also mention the procedure is the same things that you experience during experiment. You know there's something procedure, so you write down the procedure list one by one, the what are the procedure, what is the procedure you followed. So both in case of theoretical and experimental results, procedure must be you mentions in procedure in your notebook. So let me finish very quickly observation and result. So everything after finding the after doing everything, designing circuit, and then you have to go write down the result section where you have to draw the graph. Or you have to suppose you use the different type of resistance, RL in case of say transistor amplifier, RL by varying the RL, what will be the results come. So you mention in a data sheet, and the result in a Excel, in a Microsoft Excel, you can easily draw a graph of amplifying graph. So you know the theoretical part, you also they mention the experimental part and result also. So you show that what are the theoretical available graph and the result you obtain, you try to correlate them. So it's beautifully, if you think it, you think you can very beautifully mentions this, what are the result and what are the theoretical, as you mentioned also in your practical. So sometimes a wavelength should be comes out 5893, you find 5 out 5 say 6000. So you mentioned that the other why this differ is there. So you also mention in their observation that this differ comes from because of imperfections of experiment. Then conclusions, write down some conclusions. This is a brief statement explaining why a project turned out the way it did. If an Okay. So if an experiment was chosen, begin your conclusions by restating your hypothesis. So you write conclusion. What about you study in a 2-3 paragraph? You mentioned your conclusions. Then bibliographies. Bibliography means where from source. You have to mention the source. Suppose some internet source you use, you write down the sources. These things will help by your supervisor. Bibliography is not easy for a student to write. So mention you take help from supervisor how to write a bibliography. Bibliography should be there. Then acknowledgement. Acknowledgement part you can some people some student put it in the very beginning. Some write it in the very last. So acknowledgement you put in maybe in a very beginning. So in one or more sentence say thank you to those who have helped you to make the project. You should include those who give you guidance, materials, and the use of facilities for experiments. So you mention everything not in not mention everything, but everyone. So who help you. So acknowledgement is there, and that is the I want to thanks and to student, mainly those who listen my talks and understand. If you any have any doubt, then or wants to this lecture, then you can send me you can mail me b under no sorry you can send me this mail if you wants this presentation, then you can mail me to this mail address also. So thank you once again. I would like to thanks all the organizing mm, members of physics and history department for doing such a nice uh, uh, topics you selected. So thank you all.
Thank you, Dr. Rahul Bhattacharya, for a very beautiful presentation with some illustrations. You have very nicely illustrated, given with some examples also, how to pursue a project, how to complete a project, particularly for our students' fraternity. I do hope the students will get benefited out of that. And if any of you will have any queries, then you can contact with us. Always you are contacting with us, as well as you can contact with your Rahul sir. So on behalf of organizing committee, I request Obijit sir, any sort of queries are there from our students fraternity? If so, then please forward it to Rahul sir. He will explain whatever their queries are there. Abhijit sir, please.
Okay, maybe may not be any queries. So, uh,
Yeah, perhaps in chat, I don't know, but in
আচ্ছা,
chat, there
এভরি টাইম যখনই আমরা স্টুডেন্টদের সঙ্গে মিলি ফিফথ সেমিস্টার, বিশেষ করে ফিফথ সিক্স সেমিস্টার, তারা কিন্তু প্রজেক্ট কী করবো লাস্টে জিজ্ঞেস করে। দ্যাট ইজ ভেরি ব্যাড থিংস। তোমরা কিন্তু প্রথমেই প্রজেক্টে প্রত্যেক স্টুডেন্টকে বলি, প্রথমেই যেত তারা ইউ আক্স ইউর ডিপার্টমেন্ট ফ্যাকাল্টি হোয়াট ইউর প্রজেক্ট, হোয়াট ইজ নেম অফ দ্য প্রজেক্ট। সো আমার মনে হয় প্রথমেই সবাই স্টুডেন্টরা সবাই গিয়ে ডিপার্টমেন্টে জিজ্ঞেস করে সে প্রজেক্ট কিসের উপর করবো। আমাকে অনেকবার অনেক স্টুডেন্ট জিজ্ঞেস করে প্রজেক্ট কিসের উপর। আগে প্রত্যেক স্টুডেন্টকে আমি বলি, এই যাও গিয়ে নিজে ভাবো। সো নিজে ভাবো, কিছুক্ষণ ভেবে আবার একটা টপিক বলো, আবার কিছুক্ষণ ভেবে বলো। সো টপিক্সেরও শেষ নেই, স্টুডেন্টের জিজ্ঞাসা শেষ নেই। কিন্তু স্টিক ওয়ান টপিক্স, আই উইল সে অ্যাটলিস্ট ডু নট চেঞ্জ। বন্ধুরা বললো ওই যে ওই টপিক্সটা নিয়ে নি, তো আবার চেঞ্জ করে ফেলো না, ওই স্টিক থাকো টপিক্সে, যা হয় ওই টপিক্স দিয়েই তুমি প্রজেক্টটা করো। আর ডিপার্টমেন্টের ফেসিলিটিসগুলো দেখো, প্রত্যেক টিচারের প্রত্যেকের লিমিটেশন আছে, প্রত্যেক ডিপার্টমেন্ট। এটা আমাদের কাছে খুবই দুঃখজনক ব্যাপার যে আমার প্রত্যেক ডিপার্টমেন্টে এত রানিং অফ শর্টেজ অফ ফ্যাকাল্টি যে আমরা প্রত্যেককে সেভাবে গাইড করা সম্ভব হয় না। হ্যাঁ, সো ইউ এভরি স্টুডেন্ট প্লিজ কন্ট্যাক্ট উইথ department, contact with the teachers, so that one or two students write a beautiful project.
over and above, we are becoming now distance to each other. We are going far away from each other. Yeah, the expansion theory of the universe. The universe is expanding, means we are going away from each other.
Away
Due
from
to
those.
pandemic situation, that is why actually very difficult task to get the direct task to the students fraternity also. So whatever be, from our department already most of the cases we have given some topics, and students are free to choose their topics also. You
Yes.
take the topic you think about for a particular topic, you try to formulate what are the scopes are there, you try to explore, you have help from internet, you have help from books,
Yes.
you have help from the journals and others, but try to add something from yourselves. Try to at least write few sentences from yourself that will
Yes.
reflect that you have done, you have tried actually. And whenever we are trying, and it is proved that the peoples who are hard laborious, they will get success in the long run. It is
Yes,
true.
as I told you, 20%, only 20% students do beautiful project, satisfactory, a level of satisfactory. Other, why copy it from the others and submit it to the event? So, but we should target, I think, 20% students, those who wants to actually genuine projects. And project presentation, they can present also with the project presentation. So software, using software, they have to little bit of learning of the software also. So try to learn something software like Excel, and then presentation. Suppose we are making presentations in a PowerPoint presentation, so you should show some PowerPoint presentation, writing something. So maybe you take outside help, or your seniors, anyone can help you also to make the presentation. But give times. Students are not giving the time. That is the real worried. That they're not not that giving the time. What that 24 hours times what they are using, I don't know. But this is a very difficult situation. The students do not have time.
Yeah. Thank you, Rahul sir, for your
Yes. Thank you.
beautiful presentation
Thank
and
you all.
sharing your beautiful thoughts. So once
Thank
again, I am expressing my gratitude to you. So already our Kulendra sir has come. So once again, I am lucky and honored to invite and introduce Dr. Kulendra Chandra Das, Assistant Professor, Department of Environmental Science, Panchong University College, Aizawl, Mizoram. Dr. Das was postgraduated from Assam University, Silchar. He did his PhD from Assam University, Silchar. He is the recipient of many awards, such of few are these. Dr. B.R. Ambedkar National Fellowship Award. He received it in the year 2005 by DSA, New Delhi. He is the recipient of Rajiv Gandhi National Fellowship Award 2005 to 2009 by UGC Guwahati. He is the recipient of DVT Postdoctoral Fellowship Award 2009 to 2011 by DVT Guwahati. He published 12 number of research papers in national and international journals of highly repute. Dr. Dash is the life member of EBS, BOS Mizoram University, then member of School Board of ESNRM Mizoram University, member of UG EVS Syllabus Framing Committee Mizoram University, and too many. He is the life member of Indian Science Congress Association. He is the life member of Indian Society of Remote Sensing. He is the life member of Biocon, Mizoram, and others. He is doing some collaborative works also. Department of Ecology and Environmental Science and Department of Biotechnology, Assam University, Silchar. He is collaborating with Indian Institute of Remote Sensing, Indian Space Research Organization, the RADO, and also Geological Survey of India, Kolkata, and Indian Statistical Institute, Kolkata. Dr. Dash will be talking on research project, design, and methodology. So I request Dr. Dash, please share your beautiful thoughts. Dr. Das. Sir, you are not audible. Sir, are you listening me? You are not audible. Your
Yes.
voice.
Yes. Is it okay now?
Now you are audible.
Okay.
Having
Thank
any
you.
problem in my
So now it is okay, right?
Yeah, it's okay now.
Yes, everybody. Is it okay, right? Okay. So good good evening or good afternoon, everybody. So I at first I would like to thanks to the organizers, organizing committee of Government Degree College Dharmanagar, especially Department of Physics and Department of History, who have organized a nice conference, e-conference on project methodology. So in these programs, I become a part of this program. That's why I'm very much thankful to the organizers, those who have invited me and make me the grand opportunity to share my ideas with the participants. So really, I'm thankful to the organizers, especially a principal of the of this government degree college Dharmanagar, Gautam Das, and then organizing secretary Abhijit Das, then Sujit Ranjan Das, and then Raghunandan Das. So really, I feel very pleasure for be a part of this program and inviting me in this program. So with this, I would like to start my talk. I'll share. I prepared some talk based on that students as well as the faculty all will be the participants of this program. So with keeping these things in my mind, so I prepare the presentation so that every community get little bit the idea from that that presentations. Keeping these things, I have designed my presentations so that every community can get little bit idea. All teachers, faculty already we have that kind of all knowledge, although no need, but still there is a need of refreshing or some kind of discussion. It's may refreshing the mind so that we can also get more interest on that topic. That's why I have included the keeping all these things in the audience as a students, especially UG students as well as PG, and then the faculty. So with this view, with this light of this audience, I have going to talk on the research project design and methodology. So here actually for the students, actually UG students, there is a need of very much insight and thorough discussion is required. But in case of the master degree students, those who are PG students, they may get little bit more idea, because when they are going to the university level, getting the contact with the researcher, they can develop some kind of idea. But in case of the PG graduate students, they are very much preliminary in terms of the doing research or doing any kind of projects. So that's why they need little bit basic concepts to how to write the project, how to do the project, that kind of things is required. So earlier presenter, they have already discussed the topic very nicely, which will I think it will be helpful very much for the students, as well as one teacher also, Sir Nilanjan, he also talked about how to write the projects and submitting that things also he has highlighted for the teachers. And then Sir Rahul Bhattacharya sir also very nicely talked about the different issues related to the writing the project for the students. So my presentation is compiled with the mixing of this UG, PG, PhD, and then faculties all can get the little bit idea or the refreshing the idea. That is my thoughts for presenting that presentations. So for the I thought that those who are MPhil, PhD scholar, doctorate students, they are going for research, they are undergoing for the coursework, so they will understand the research methodology, protocol, and then procedure in details. They will attend the 6-month coursework, so they will learn. So for them there is no problem for getting that kind of things. But for the graduate student as well as the PG students, they need more guidance from the teachers so that they can do their projects. So now I am starting with the very basic concept like that, how to do the research, how to do the designing the research or project or any proposal, how to design. So before starting that, we have to give the very brief concept about the research design. What is the research design? Is a framework or blueprint for conducting the research project. It deals with the procedure. It gives the details procedures necessary for obtaining the information needed to structure or solve research problem. Research problem is what we're going to research. This is the research problem. So excuse me, yeah. Is it visible? My screen is visible, right?
Yeah, right. It is visible.
Okay, fine. Thank you. So this is the research design. So research design gives us a framework, a blueprint for what to do, how to do. That kind of blueprint is given. This is nothing but research design. So if we going for research, that you have to understand, we have to develop the idea. What is the research? Very simple way. Research means finding answer to the questions. Any questions in my mind, to get inquiring the questions, answer is the research. And also research is a systematic search for truth. What is the truth? It's also gives some idea what is the hidden, right? We are not knowing, but we have to search these things and then find out the truth things are there. That is the systematic search for the truth. Through research, new and original information, ideas about the world we live in are obtained. Also, we can discuss the research is a search for knowledge. Research is search for knowledge. And then research is defined as a scientific and systematic search for information on a specific topic. So this is the very basic concept of research. Research means again searching. What we are searching? Our questions, what the curiosity in our mind, to get the answer of this curiosity. This is the research. So that is the research. For that questions, for getting the answer of that curious questions, that is nothing but the research. For doing this research, we need to make a design, how to do the research. So before going to the research, we have to understand what is a good research. Research, any questions maybe comes to my mind, any things, but everything cannot give the good output, or everything may not be possible to do in a systematic way. So criteria of a good research is purpose clearly defined. The research purpose it should clearly define. And research, if there is a research process also, it should be detailed. And research design thoroughly planned. What research will do, it should design should be thoroughly planned. It is not unplanned. It should be planned. And in the research, there is a high ethical standard is required to apply. And in the very many research, there is the limitations are there. So limitations frankly revealed there. What kind of limitations? What kind of difficulties? What kind of the problems arises that should be very nicely, very freely should reveal and focus it. And then in research, a good research, adequate analysis for decision makers is required, is needed. Then a good research having the finding presented unambiguously. So finding is also coming very, very nice way. And then in good research having the conclusions, its justified conclusion is there in a good research. And then a good research, having a good research, researcher experiences reflected. In a good research, what kind of research has been done, the earlier researcher experience has been reflected in the good research. Some researchers are doing the research that told that I am doing this research, but they're not mentioning that who the other researchers did on that particular research. That should be very much important. It should be reflected. So these are the basic criteria of the good research doing any kind of research for a researcher, the scientist, or the faculty, or the students. That kind of criteria should keep in our mind so that is become a good research. So now come to the another points, objectives. Why you are doing the research? What is the objectives, purpose? The purpose of research is to discover answer through the applications of scientific procedures. And the main objectives are to gain familiarity with a phenomenon or to achieve new insight into it. So that kind of research is called explanatory or formulative research. Then another objective is that to portray accurately the characteristics of a particular individual's situations or a groups. So to doing that kind of research, it comes under the descriptive research. So another objective is that to determine the frequency with which something occurs or with which it is associated with something else. So that kind of research is called diagnostic research. Or the another objectives of research is to test a hypothesis of a causal relationship between variables. Different variables will be there. So within these variables, that kind of research is called hypothesis testing research. So there are many objectives of research is there. So based on the objectives, the research types is also different. Now come to the research. Now if we want to conduct the research, we want to do the research, then what kind of things we need to do first? Before generating a hypothesis, conduct background research to understand the scope of the study. That means when we are starting any research, we need to study before conducting the research. Before conducting the research, we have to study the background information about this research, about the topic, what topic we want to study. So that is very important thing. And another thing is that use this research to determine both the dependent and independent variables of the study. And then with the knowledge of this background research informations and understanding the research, we have to find the dependent and independent variables, right? What are the dependent variables? What are the independent variables? So that using this research, we have to determine my present research dependent and independent variables difference and relations. That kind of things is very much important for doing any kind of research. So then what we can do is that then now if we want to do the research or conduct any kind of research or projects, then why we do? Now, what is the purpose for doing the research? Why we are going to conduct research projects, or why are we going to writing research proposals? So again, there is a some novel mission is there to invent new things. We are conducting research or doing projects for doing something. What is the something? This to invent new things. For inventing anything, for discovering anything, we are doing to research, or to solve a prevailing problem, or we are doing research for solving some problems. Suppose nowadays the corona is also there is a issue, global issue now in the all over the world. This pandemic is creating a very heavy that is panic to every people. So it's a very big headache now everybody is trying, scientific community, we are trying to find out the vaccine, find out the problem solutions. So to solve a problem, research is required, conducting research is required to support the development programs of a country. For doing any kind of development programs in a country, there's a need of the research, because the every developmental work is not possible to do with the one model research, because every stage, every developmental activities have a different types of approach, different types of the objectives, different types of purpose. So research also different. So another purpose is that to uplift living standard. For our upliftment of the standard of the living, we need to upgrade the research. That's why research is very important. So because we are inquisitive about the things happening around us, and also some researchers, they are also doing the research because they have some the curiosity in their mind to do something. They're only searching something. So in that way, they are also doing some research. So that are the main objectives, or why you can do the research. That is the some points I highlighted here. Now come to the research proposal. What proposal or projects? We are talking about the proposal or about the projects. The same things: research projects and research proposal. Proposal is nothing but it is the research blueprint. Research blueprint. What research we can do it. That is make in a text form, in written forms, in systematic way. This is the research proposal. A research proposal sets out with the broad topic you would like to research. That is the substance, right? What the research would set out to achieve. This is called aims and objectives of the research, and how you would go about researching it, and how we'll do that. This is called methodology or methods or procedures, and how you would undertake it within the time available. That is called the outline plan. That means your plan of the research. So, and what the results might be in relation to knowledge and understanding the subject. This is called potential outcome of the research. So this is the basic thing, concept of the research proposals. Now I am focusing what contents will be in the research proposals. What topics, what headings will be in the research proposal, that is the content. So in an ideal research proposal, there should have some executive summary, means it is called also abstract, and then problems statements, then review of literature. Problem statements means that it is the one kind of the what kind of research you can do about the research, and why you are going to research. That problem should be discussed in that problem statement. Some problems, I think, here. Yes, now it is. Background sound is beeping sound is coming. Okay, and then hello, are you hearing me? Hello.
Yeah. You are audible.
Yes. Here actually we have a lots of the internet issues. So sometimes I get confused that I also hear lots of background sounds. Okay, now it is clear. Okay.
Yeah, it is clear.
Yes. So then another heading or the subheading we can write in the contents: review of literature. Review of literature, nothing but it gives the all kind of the informations about our research, who has done, what kind of research has been done in this country or in the globes, related to my research or related to your research, what research you are going to do on that topics. You have to find out the many literature, you have to go through a review of the many literature, you consult many literature, books, journal. Then these things will be reflected in the review of literature. Then another heading is the research methodology. In research methodology, here it is need to write all kind of procedure, methods, what things are required to do, conduct that kind of research. That things is required in their heading. And then next is the data analysis. While doing any research, then what kind of data will be generated and how this data will be analyzed, that things will be reflected in this data analysis contents. Then the time frame. Time frame, again, there is a very important point is there. For doing any research or conducting any research, there is a time frame is there. You have to set the time how you want to do work. Is it 1 year or is it 3 years or it is 5 years? That kind of time frame is there. So according to the time frames, you have to set the target which month, which year, what kind of objectives you will achieve, what kind of research you can complete. That kind of time frame is required, and this time frame is reflected in that heading. All kind of details about the time, in which time, what kind of experiment you will do, how you will do, what kind, everything is mentioned here. Then another contents in a research proposal is very important: budget and resources. In that proposals, research proposal, it is very important how much money, budget means money, expenditure is required for conducting this kind of research, and what are the resources is required for doing this research. That is very important to reflect in that heading. And then at last, there is a hypothesis. What will be your research outcomes, and what is all things will be reflected here. So these are the major contents, that is the subheadings will be included in the research proposal. That is almost same for every research. It may be arts, it may be science, it may be commerce, so any disciplines, but there are little bit some variations may be there, but main things may be almost same. So again, here for little bit details, contents of the research design, here I have shown the earlier slide. Here we have to understand what things we will put in the, suppose the statement of problems, what things we will put in the time framing, what things could be put in the methodologies things. So I have shown here in little bit details for better understanding for our students. You see here the statement of research objectives. In the statement of problem, earlier slide I'm going to show here. Yeah, executive summary definition is abstract. Problem of statement here. Problem of statement, it gives the statement of research objectives. In this heading, we'll get our questions, and then what is the problems we want to, what the research we want to do. Here it will be reflected as a heading, the objectives. What are the objectives? And that is why the research project is to be conducted. That answer will be, that question's answer will be reflecting in that the statement of the research objectives. Then type of data needed. Then for doing we need the objectives. We need that type of data. What type of data needed is also required in the contents. The definition of the populations or sampling, the procedure to be followed. What kind of research I can do? I have to need the definitions of things, and sampling procedure we have to know. That things you have to follow. We have to put in the contents, writing in these subheadings of the contents of the research proposals. We need the times. How much time is required for this this research? Is it 1 year? It is 6 years? It is 3 years? Or it is 5 years or 10 years? Durations is there. So every research there is a time bound is there. Within time bound you have to do. For students, you have some students have the 3 months projects. Some we are giving in our college like 6 month projects period for the students. 6 months. So there is a time period is there. So, and then for doing the projects, there is a cost also for doing research. There is a cost is also required. Some budget is required. Some money is required. So that is also need to reflect how much money is required for that. And responsibility specifications. What responsibility we can carry out on that particular, that things should be reflected in that research designs. Then methods. In the method, while talking about the methodologies, here the methods, ways, and then procedures used for the collection of the data. We have to mention what methods we have to use, what procedure we have to use for collecting the data. Because for collecting the data, based on the different research disciplines, the methods is different. Say, for example, for doing experimental research for the physics, department of physics, they can do the research one, the way there is a methods, the procedure is the way, and because experimental research is not the procedure, methods is 1 year. If if another student can do the research from the arts background or commerce backgrounds, that field, so that method procedure will not be same. It will be totally different because the research type is different. The research that's why research methodology process also will be different. So that way, it's differ from the project to project. It differ from the discipline to disciplines, and it differ from the subject to subject. It is differ from the area of the topic to topic also. Again, among the subject topic is there, topic to topic. All topics not may not be the same, the procedure, it is different. So that's why it is very important to reflect here. And then data analysis tool. Data analysis tool or methods used to analyze the data. We are generating, through research, we are generating data, we are generating informations, and the data, how to analyze the data, when we are able to analyze the data, this data will be interpreted scientifically. So there is a many tools, or there are many methods, softwares are required for doing the data analysis. It depends again depends upon the our topics, based on the disciplines, it's differ. So that things is we have to keep in our mind what things are required to do to research the design. So in a nutshell, for doing the projects, so we have writing the proposal, research proposals, and we prepared the proposals. After preparing proposal, we have to send for the project grant, or we have to send for the funding agency for that proposal for getting the projects. So this project, or we want to conduct the projects, there is so for that scoping of the project is required. Then how we'll do the scoping? We have to see the different aspect of the projects very minutely. So last project justifications. We have to get justification how we justify the project is okay or not. For to get the justification of the projects or proposal, we have to see the project objectives. What is the objectives reflected in these proposals? And then what is the project scope? Description is there. What is the scope of these projects? It is described here. We have to see that things with respect to the project objectives. Then we have to see the project acceptance criteria. How this project will be, how it will be accepted. What is the acceptance? What is the utility? That things we have to see. And at the same time, we have to see the project constraint, what is the difficulties and then the troubles while conducting the projects or carry out the projects. Then what is the project's assumption? What will be the project's assumption? So all these things, segments or dimensions, we have to keep in the mind, and all these things gives the project the justifications and the scope of the projects. Whether project will be good, whether project will be getting the values, weight, and get the fund for applying the project. That kind of the justification is very much important after writing project or after designing any project. That is very important part. Because simply if we are writing and sending it, then we cannot get acceptance of this project. Our project may not be accepted, it may be rejected. So before that, project scoping is required. We have to understand the correlating all the things, and justification is get prepared by ourselves, so that if we feel that it is justified here with this all the point, then it is good. We can send for that for funding agency, for getting grants. So that is the projects things. Now come to the another how to design a research project. Now come to the research project. The all in general things I have talked about. For doing or designing a research project, we have to again. I'm focusing a little bit concept like the task of defining the research problem is the preparation of the research project. It is popularly known as the research design. Research design. How to make these projects and what kind of questions coming from this research. We have to think for this question, like decision regarding what, where, when, how much, by what means, concerning an inquiry or a research study constitute a research design. So that kind of questions are inside the research designs. This question, for meeting those questions query, we are formulating or designing the research. In this our research project or research designs, we get all answered. So that is all questions are there in this research. So project designs. Now we have designed the research design. Now coming to the project, the project writing the proposals, we are going to execute the project. Then this project how to do, how to see the project design. Project design shows a rough sketch or an overall view of the entire research project. Like a skeleton of the house. Suppose before constructing a house, just making the pillar and then just make a one sketch or drawing the things. The similar thing, project design is like that. So this shows the project prototypes, research represented in the diagrams, such as it also shows the flowchart, content, block, and or schematic diagram. Anything, very details. these things also can reflect here. This part briefly introduce the use of the research projects in general. So it's giving the all the blueprint of the projects. Now come to here, I am also focus on that, the need for a research design. Why it is required, very important for research design. Again, focusing here, research design is needed because it gives the smooth going of the various research operation. So making research as efficient as possible, we can get maximum information with minimum expenditure of effort, time, and money. So that's why the research is need the research design. Just as for better economic and attractive constructions of a house, we need a blueprint, or what is commonly called the map of the house, well thought out and prepared by an expert architect. Similarly, we need a research design or a plan in advance of data collections and analysis for our research projects. Similarly, actually, this example given here for the house. Similarly, same things for research design gives a blueprint for our research, so that we can able to collect the data and we can analyze for our research projects. It is a blueprint. So now here you see the purpose of research design. What is the purpose? It provides the schemes for answering research questions. First things we'll get, it gives us the scheme for answering research questions. Whatever research question will be there in the objectives or that questions, and it gives the answers. It gives the schemes for answering so that we can get the answer easily. And then it maintains control to avoid bias that may affect the outcomes. So our research objectives for getting the outcome of the project, it always control the biasness. So that's why it's helpful for avoiding the bias. That is the another purpose. It's organized the study in a certain way, defending the advantages of the doing while being aware and caution about potential disadvantages. So these are the main three purposes for doing research design. So that is the most important purpose. Now I am talking about the different type of research design. Different types of research design. As I told, based on the research, based on the subject, based on the disciplines, and research also differ. So here we can get some idea. In case of exploratory research study, in case of descriptive and diagnostic research research, in case of hypothesis testing and research studies. So there are many different research designs are there based on the disciplines and then types of the research. Now you see here in this slide, what are the different types of the design, study design or research design. It is simply here showing observational study, observational research, observation. Another is the experimental study or experimental research. So again, in the observational research, there is a descriptive research, and there is a ecological correlation research, and there is a analytic research. So in analytic research, we get cross-sectional, we get case control research, we get cohort. So there are many research, I mean the sub-branch are there, so that we can able to, if we understand this one, if we keep this thing there, so that we can able to easily, we can able to formulate or design, it helps out to design our research. So that's why that the types of research or type of study design is need to important. That's why I'm showing here. In case of experimental study or experimental research, there is a clinical research, and community trial research is there. So that time different types of research are there. Based on that, the research design will also differ. So let us focus a little bit about the types of research and descriptive and analytical research here in this slide showing here. What is that? It is a concept for concept generating. I have given here this slide. Descriptive research is a fact finding investigations which is aimed at describing the characteristics of individuals, situations, or a group, or describing the state of affairs as it exists at present. And analytical research is primarily concerned with the testing hypothesis and specifying and interpreting the relationship by analyzing the facts or information already available. Then conceptual or empirical research. What is the conceptual research? The conceptual research is generally used by philosophers and thinkers to develop new concepts or to reinterpret the existing ones. The empirical research is a data-based research which depends on experience or observations alone. It is aimed at coming up with conclusions without due regard for systems and theory. So this is the empirical research. It is direct observation experience. It comes. So now empirical and theoretical research here, we can show this. Empirical research is based on the result of observation and experience. We know it's theoretical studies the subject through the writings of others, reflects on these ideas and uses intellectual capabilities to construct a new explanation of the situation. It is called theory. And empirical research is the dominant paradigms in business and management. So that is the types of research. Just I'm focusing here some research. Now come here the process or methods of diagnostic research studies. What the things are required for diagnostic research? Here is need more the points is required here. Formulating the objectives of the study or doing diagnostic research. The designing the methods of data collections. It's very important for diagnostic research. Selecting the sample, or what are the sample will be there. Collecting the data, how to do the collect the data, the processing and analyzing the data and reporting the findings, writing the reports with the finding. That is the need in the diagnostic research studies. So that are the things. Now another things, types of experimental research design. What kind of experimental research against are there? Here in experimental research designs, we find here you see pre-experimental research design, and then true experimental research design, and quasi-experimental research design. There are three types of experimental research design is there. Just for giving the idea, or that I'm not getting details here, it is not need to. Now coming to the again the total research design and methodology here. For any research or any projects, if we write any research project or research proposals, here we need to write introductions first. In introduction, what things is required? It's required background, information of the topic or projects and its significance and research problem. What are the objectives of the research? That things is reflected in the introductions of it. Then it's need the research aim and questions. Then it's for that getting that things. Next step is we need to review of the literature. We need to study the all literature, all books related to this or journals related to this topic. And then we have to see the worker, earlier researcher, what kind of work they did related to my research topic or my research area. I have to focus here in this review of literature. And from their work, I have to focus that they have did this kind of work, I want to do this work. So that things is reflected in the review of literatures. And then after that, next step, we have to do the study and project design. We have to design our project, what things. So in project designing, we need to incorporate the objectives, methodologies, timelines, how many the duration of the time projects, how many years required, and expected outcomes. These are the steps. These are the 6 steps we have to follow doing any kind of project or writing any proposals. That is a very common things for every disciplines. I can say for every disciplines. So for that, I am telling details with these steps. While doing these steps, how we will write these things. Just simply suppose writing here for the research paper proposal, writing. Here for writing any research proposal, there is the need of some cover page, first page. In first page, what things we need to write? Very important: name of the university, name of the organizations, name of the department is required. Then we have to, second thing, you have to write the name of our topic, project topic, or our proposal topics. And then we have to write our name, who is going to do the research, his names and date and years. And also here we have to need put our logo. If the researcher is in affiliation is in an institute, working in institute logo should be there. This is a cover page. It is required for writing any kind of research proposals. This is the cover page or cover letter. Then second step is that we need to write the abstract or the summary of the research proposal or any projects. So here give a brief description of the subject of study in 1 or 2 lines is required. And in these sections in abstract, we have to write what things we have to write. These 5 point we have to keep in the mind while writing any abstract. Beginning of the thesis or beginning of the topic. Introduction of the topic we have to write here, or we have to write here. Then second, opportunity of this. This is opportunity of this topic, our research topic. What is the opportunity? 2-3 lines you have to write here. Then expectation of the topic from this research topic. What we can expect, what we can get, what comes we can put here. Then we have to line another methods of the 2-3 lines we can write here. Methods. What methods we applied, what procedure applied, 2-3 lines, and then here at last we have to write finding of the paper or proposal. What findings? So around, you see, for each and every 5-point headings, things we have to reflect in an abstract for scientific abstract. That means introduction of the topic, the opportunity of the topic, why you are doing to these ones, expectations from this topic, what you expect from this topic, and what are the materials applied for that, and then finding, what is the finding. So these things briefly explained in an abstract page or abstract column, or it is also called summary. Somewhere it is called summary also, some cases summary, executive summary. So this is the abstract for proposal. This is the important. Then abstract of the research paper proposal here, again same things. I am showing a research paper proposal here. Brief summary of the research paper, description of the contents, information of the contents. That things is required. So what things is required? Information of the content is required. Scope, what kind of, and what is the result and conclusion is required. That 3 points we have to remember. That information of the contents, in that contents, description, brief summary, research paper, description of the contents you have to write it, and then information of the contents here will carry the scope of the topic, results and conclusion very briefly. That is also need to keep in the mind. So now next heading is coming to the introduction of the research proposal or research project. In introductions of the study of the research proposal, here we have to write again the introduction, beginning of the topic, and then we have to also focus about the knowledge of the research area, particular area, the topic I selected the area. This, suppose if I want to study on the biodiversity status, or suppose the turtle and tortoise status of the Tripura. So turtle and tortoise, I have to write something about turtle and tortoise of the Tripura here. Then knowledge of the research area. What about the turtle and tortoise? All the information I put here in the knowledge of the research area in that column. Then the background of the study. So why we are going to study this one? The background information of the study is required because these species are going. Suppose the turtle and tortoise. I want to work in the Tripura. So here we want to know the turtle and tortoise are very endangered species. For their surviving is very much important to save them from the extinction. For that reasons we need to study that. So with these things we are going for study this one, and the entire Tripura, I want to explore from my entire Tripura how many species are there and what is the status, what is their biology. That's why that things we have to need to put in this background of the study here. Then the significance of the study. What is the importance of the study? Yeah, importance of the study. Here also we can mention any projects. What is the importance of the study? It is reflecting here. And then previous research experience in the field. Any kind of researcher has done their work on particular topic or particular area, that things should be mentioned. So that 5 aspects should be included in the introduction of your research project or your research proposal. That things we have to keep in mind and we have to incorporate for that, writing the introduction part of the research proposals. So then second part is the here research questions, hypothesis for research paper. So in hypothesis or questions, we have to see the questions, like many questions are there. Doing research, we're going for answering the questions of the many questions. What samples of the subject required for this study? What sample? Many questions are there. For doing any research, what kind of samples required? What is your samples? That is the questions. What are the methodology steps to work on objectives? For my topic, any topics I choose, for that topics I need to set that what are the sample. So suppose I told already I want to do the study of the turtle and tortoise of the Tripura state. So my interest is in turtle and tortoise. So my sample is not people, not other organisms, only turtles. So these are the samples. And then what are the methodology steps to work on the objective? What method I'm taking for the knowing their status and their availability, occurrence. So what kind of method I will take, I have to put here. Similarly, that kind of many questions like question 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, what are the different questions are coming to answer to this project for getting the answer, getting my research output. So we have to put all these things here, one after another. This will give very easy way to set our projects. So then next things is that the research questions hypothesis for research paper proposal. This is the continuation of the earlier slide also. There are primary hypothesis statement. We can primary hypothesis statements and then the expected impact. The two important aspects we have to focus here. The primary hypothesis statement gives the change that you are testing. The change, what kind of changes that you are going to testing, that I'm going to test. What kind of changes, because and what impacts we expect the change to have, who you expect it to impact, by how much, and after how long. This is the primary hypothesis, because while I'm going to study the suppose turtle and tortoise of the Tripura, here I have to see how many species are there, then what was the earlier researcher, what if they have did it is, if I go for literature survey or review, then I find that how many species were there reported in Mizoram, the Tripura long back. So that things is there. While I'm doing the research, then I'll find how many species are there. I'll compare that how many species are going to whether the species are getting extinct, reducing or number or not. I can get it. Then how much? If it is reducing number, or if I get more number is there, then we can say it is the number is increasing. There is a good environment for the turtle and tortoise. So that way I have to put lots of the assumption from this hypothesis. How much changes takes place and how long times required for that. So that kind of doing survey or research, I can get that kind of idea. So that is the primary hypothesis statement here. Then expected impact. The another things also coming in the hypothesis, expected impact, who will be impacted, by how much, and after how long. What through this research, who will be impacted? Any research you are doing through this research, who will be impacted and how much impacted, after how long. So that is the things we have to put. This is the generalized things, but it's may vary from the project to project, discipline to disciplines, of course. So this is some clue here to what things we have to put where. Then the next things is that step is the key assertion, objectives for research paper proposals. What things, objectives we will put in the research proposal. The list of the questions that the research is designed to answer. The list of the questions that the research is designed to answer. The what sample of subject required for the study. What are the methodology steps to work on objectives. Then research questions like that, 2, 3, 4 questions, that way it comes based on your projects. And provided a list of goals that will be achieved through the proposed research. And what kind of goal you will get, objective 1, objective 2, objective 3, that kind of things you can make that way, so that it is possible to draw the objectives and its goal very easily. Then next step is that literature review for research paper or project writing. Literature review, nothing but it is the theoretical or methodological contributions, what are there in this research review, informations of materials referred, and current study analysis. Through this literature review, what we can get, information of materials referred, what kind of materials is used by the earlier researcher in their work, and what are the current study, and then I can also able to do the current study analysis, what things is required for my research, and what the other researcher did earlier studies, how they do, what methodologies, what the idea, that things is derived from the literature review. If I go for literature review, then I can develop lots of idea. Earlier previous researcher, what they did, what kind of method they applied, what techniques they applied, what concept they have, what kind of question they put. So that things will be coming under this literature review sections. And then in this literature review, so here describe all the past work or material referred for the research worker related to my projects or your projects. You have to refer the all past work materials referred for this research work based on your topic. And approach of research study and analysis. Then which approach they have done research. So that things also need to focus here in the literature review slides here, and then list of the books and study materials. What are the books or the journal study materials they have used? That things also need to reflect in that. That should be cited in the literature review. So that is very important. The next step of research is that then is the research methods overview for research paper proposal. So how research method, how you will overview, how you will set the things here. You see the slide. But number one, type of research methods that will be used. Example, survey, modeling, or case study. What kind of research method is required for this research? Whether it is survey, whether it is modeling or a case study, based on that, it is the design is required. Then number two, way to solve the problem. How to solve the problem. And what to do. Third point is what to do. And then fourth point is the how to do. What to do, what things you will do, how to do, and which area to target, which area of your target, and how to execute this study, how to conduct your study. So all these 6 points are research methodology, including following logic step. These 6 steps gives the idea or directions for making our research method overview of the research, any kind of research. So this 6 point is very much important for doing the methods. Then come to the methods of data collection for research paper. So while doing any research, through the research, we are only generating the data, collection of the data. This is called source of data collection. How we'll do? So source of data collections are 2 ways: primary source and secondary source. Primary source, that means I'm doing myself, experimenting myself and generating the data. This is called the primary data. And then secondary data is nothing but the data what is done, the research what is done by previous worker, previous researcher, and from their data I am doing some research. This is secondary source. So there are 2 types of sources are there: primary source and secondary source. So the primary source is giving the first-hand data. Secondary source data is the second-hand data. The data already generated by other people, and you are just collecting their, utilizing for your analysis, you are using their data. That is the data are there. So now come to the other points here. You see research project time frame for research paper proposal. So time frame is very important. Time budget, time work plan. So here it is again depends upon the project to project, depends upon the discipline to discipline. I'm just showing some example here. You see, I'm showing here, suppose 2019 to 2020, there are 12 months. 12 months. During the 12-month periods, what kind of task has been carried out in which month? With this slide, it's showing that in this year, the 1 year period of this project, in which month, what kind of task, what kind of activity of the project is being carried out, it is reflected in the research project time frame for research paper proposals. This is also how to reflect it. Suppose January, February month, task 1 is carried out 5 January to March, up to March, 1st March. Then task 2, February, 2nd March, 2nd February to March 14. So that way it is showing the how to do the time frame for the doing the any research work. Similarly, another things, it is also showing in the week 1, week 2, also another way. Week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, it is like that. So again, it is also showing the time frame. So suppose event 1, activity 1 of the project is carried out from the 12 days in the first week, and then in the 3rd week, not 2nd week. So it is showing like that. 12 days is done, but first week and then 3rd week. Then activity 2, event number 2 has been carried out in the 10 days here in the 2nd and 3rd weeks, and then 4th week. So that way showing the time for doing the work, your activity you are doing in your projects, what activity is doing in which time period, which time frame, that is also shown in a systematic way. That is also important for the research project time frame. So event 4, it is showing that in the week 6th week and then 8th week has been done. 10 days has been done work for the these 2 weeks, week 6 and week 8. These 2 weeks, 10 days. This event 4 has been carried out. Event 5 is been carried out on the week 6 and 7th, and then week 8 and 9. It is also 10. So that way, representing the time frame. Again, if we see the another time frame for research paper, suppose here showing the week wise or phase wise, then another way we can also show all kind of the time frame as per your work. So this is the nothing but the time frame, how to show the time frame. Then doing the research, there is some constant is there, difficulties is there, some limitations are there. We also need to focus that thing. Research constant for research paper proposal or research project. Number 1, lack of previous studies in the research area. Some projects, some topics that may not be getting the previous studies report record. So that is the lack of information. Then we have to focus the scope of the discussions. Then difficulty to identify significance relationship due to the small sample size. Some topics, some research, there is a difficulty arises to identify the significance relationship due to the small sample size. That is also some constant. So there are many many constant or difficulties may arises for the topics, any kind of research. There is no need to worried about it. So every research, there is a constant is there. So difficulties will be there. That should be also need to be very importantly note down. Then timeline for the research paper proposal. Again, if we see, I have shown here daily basis, day basis, weekly basis, monthly basis. Also year basis. Suppose here 2016 to 2020. This is the 5 years. 5-year plan, research plan. Then which year, what kind of work has been done starting 2016, what kind of work will be carried out, 2017, what kind of work will be carried out, or 2018, what kind of work will be. Similarly, up to starting to the end, which year, what kind of work can be carried out. This is also need to be very important to focus in the time frame in the research paper. So that is the main important points I highlighted here. The important steps of the research designs, which is required to how to design it, how to focus the points or steps. That is very important to writing the reports. Now coming to the how to after doing the research projects or that how to write the report result, how to write, how to express your data. So the data can be represented in a tabulated forms. What information, what the survey if carried out in tabulated form, or in a graphs, or in a flowcharts, or in a photographs, and in text or film form. So videography is also one form. So that how to report results, all these findings, we can express as a table forms, graph forms, flowchart form, photographs, or text or a film forms. That is important. This is our finding. So that's why in a project, any kind of projects, conducting project, the all information is very much important. The questions answer is very important. Making how to chart, even photographs also for evidence is required. Photographs, films, recording, everything is very important for that. With this, we can able to write the reports. So this is the all summary in a nutshell. What are the steps we have discussed in the projects? The number 1, identifying the problems. Number 2, review of literature. Then setting the research question, objectives, and hypothesis. Then 4th step is choosing the study design. We have to choose the design. After doing these things, they have to design the report. Then number 5 is the deciding on the sample size. What is the sample? And then number 6 is the collecting data. Then number 7 is the processing and analyzing the data. Then writing the report. So report part. So the ending part is here up to writing the report. So that is the end of the projects here. So starting from the 1 to there, you see, this is the research process. All these 8 points are very important, right? So if we don't have an idea of the each and every steps, and if we don't carefully not noting the all kind of the criteria or the steps inside this every steps. There is a many sub steps are there, so that we will get missed, so that we cannot able to make a good research project, or we cannot get the very good research. So that's why conducting good research, that steps is required. This is the research process. So here we have to very nicely identify the things. Now I will show some few slide research methods. I have already talked here some methods also here in this process. You'll see there are 4 steps process for research methodology. What are the 4 steps here? Methods: situation audit and project design. This is the first steps. Situation, we have to see the situation, in what situation, what way we have to do our project. If I select one topic, in what situation audit is required in any situation. Suppose in this pandemic situation, if I do any kind of work in this pandemic situation, what way I can do the seminar, what way I can do the class. The online is going. So situation audit is very important, and then based on the situation audit, project design is very important. This is the first step for the method. Then finalize the scope, design, and research project based on the situation and audit. Then second step is data acquisition. How I gather the data, gather primary and secondary data. Here I already told what is the primary and what is secondary data. The secondary data, this is that second step method is the data acquisition. For we are doing research for data, gathering the data, collecting the data. It's maybe primary or secondary data. This is the second steps. And then third step, data analysis. After getting the data, and then there is a need of the analysis and drawing the conclusion. So we have to find out the after analysis, we will find out what is the conclusion. So that is the third step. And then last is the fourth step is the scenario development and strategy recommendation. After the getting conclusion, then from here we can recommend the strategy. We can formulate the strategy, which strategy is better, which our result, the research giving the suggesting that what kind of step we have to follow, what kind of step not followed we have to do. So that this is the 4 steps. For example, here situation audit during pandemic times, how to do, we are doing the research class, how we are doing that, we have designed that we are do online classes, sitting at home, conducting the exam also, design such a we are sitting at home, how to do. Then data acquisition, we are also sending our study material. In the data acquisition, we are sending our study material to students through WhatsApp, through email, what we are teaching, our lecture, they are also listening, and then we are sending it to them through. And the data analysis, when they are sending their our text materials to them, we are conducting exam also. We are conducting exams also, and then taking the online exam with this analyzing their performance. And then after analyzing, then we are also able to knowing which students are better, first divisioners, which are the second divisioner who are not able to perform nicely. We can able to analyzing that way, and then at last we are able to declaring the result. So that is the just example I put in here. The situation based, we can able to step. This is the for doing any kind of research. There is a method. There are 4 steps is very important. So these are again I already talked here the research methods here. Primary data collection. Regarding the data collections, there are 2 types of data are generating. Primary data. Primary data is called first-hand data. We can generate with the help of interview or survey or questionnaire methods. We can get the information. This is called primary data. And then data collection is secondary data is through the paper, through the electronic sources, through paper-based, through the journals, through any books, consulting the books. We are getting the data. These are that is the data, secondary data. So there are lots of research methodologies are there. I'm not talking details here. They are just I'm telling the name: historical, then comparative, descriptive, correlation, experimental, evaluation, action research, ethnogenic research, feminist research, cultural research. So there are many types of researches are there. So based on the types, there are methods also differ from one to another, right? So that is the main focus to giving the idea about what are the different types of research, what are the different types of the design. It depends upon the project, this depends upon the topics, right? Disciplines, and almost the main things are almost the same. So research types, gives us that things, which is I can also show some example here with my previous. For the PG students, for the UG students, I want to show one project, how to write the project reports for UG students. For example, here we carried out, our students here, a study of the what is the features we need to show. Suppose here a study of the COVID-19 impact in Mizoram. This is the one project we conducted for the we have conducted through our UG students. So they have carried a study of COVID-19 impact in Mizoram. This is the our students have did. So this is the topic, and this topic you have to first page, cover page. I already highlighted in this my lecture. So now I am showing an example here. So this is the topic of the project, a study of COVID-19 impact in Mizoram. Here, this is the cover page. This is the some photographs. If you put, no problem. Don't put, no problem. It depends upon if you cover page. If you want to design, it is up to you. Then this project is submitted in partial fulfillment of the requirement of the Bachelor degree of Science in Environmental Science by one student's name. He is here, and roll number, student's name, designations, that his degree, basic 6 semesters, roll numbers, designation, that is the affiliation is required. And then under whom? Under supervisions of the my name is Kulanjan Das. So here required, and then affiliation is required, and then year, which year you are doing. This is the cover page of the project. How to write the projects and what the elements are required, what features are required. Just I'm showing here. This is the one page. This is the cover page. Again, similar to the cover page, you can give the another page. It is called title page. So title page and the cover page almost same. There is nothing differences there. Then the declaration of the students. We need the declaration of the students. Students should declare that I did this work with this work, and that's suppose I hereby solemnly affirm that to best of my knowledge I believe the project entitled the study of COVID-19 impact in Mizoram being submitted as a part of partial fulfillment of the PSC students examination of the Mizoram University has been carried out under Pachunga University College campus under the keen guidance of the Dr. Kulendra Chandra Das. So this project report has not been submitted for the degree of any other academic qualification at any other university or examination body in India or any other country. So that kind of declaration is required from the students for submitting this declaration. Then the supervisor certificate is required. Supervisor will certify that you are doing that projects under my guidance and such that things. Supervisor, and this project is again, the certificate is supervised, this countersigned by the HOD, head of the departments. Just I'm showing example how to write the reports as per the different university. They are given maybe different kind of pro forma. So as per our university, I'm showing for our students. So acknowledgement, and then acknowledgement is required. In this acknowledgement, you can definitely mention your departmental colleagues, departmental faculties, your institutions. Acknowledge here your guide. You have to acknowledge here, and then students should write their names here and all affiliations. Then content page of the project. This is your project main things. Coming contents. In contents, you have to write here main things is there is a project. It is giving the mini project of the UG students. Undergraduate student introduction of the projects, objective of the projects, materials and methods projects, study area, which area you are going to study, results and finding, discussions and conclusions, and then last is the reference. So that is their main aspect. 8 aspects we are teaching our UG students how to write the projects, how to do the research, and this is the important points, and the page number wise writing report. This is the report I am showing. So then this is the introduction, just the topic of the project is, and then very important things is that every page should be numbered. Numbering is required. Pages numbering is required. First is the introduction page. Introduction page. In introduction of the project name is the study of the COVID-19 impact in Mizoram. So that in that heading they have what they highlighted. Just I am just telling for understanding background information. Background information about the COVID in global level, pandemic situation. Then pandemic in India context. then pandemic, COVID pandemic in Mizoram context. So this is covering with these things highlighted in that introductions. And after that, objectives, setting the objectives. Based on that, objectives is objective is that to study, the objective of the following studies are to analyze the status of the corona patient in Mizoram, to analyze the impact of COVID-19 in socio-economic life of the Mizo people, to analyze the COVID-19 prevention measures taken in Mizoram. Objectives. Based on these objectives, then methods and method has been written. Method is, you see, secondary here because they have not done any kind of primary data. They have not done yet their own. They have consulted the literature. The data and informations for the study were procured through online researching. These were obtained from the various researchers, published by the research journals following different topics from others, sources like articles from different outlets and information published by the government bodies pertaining to the topic of this study. So that is the main materials and methods. Then study area is the Mizoram, and then the study area map showing here. Then all this data has been incorporated, results findings, tabulated forms, right? And then there are in this study they have shown there are five tables. Table 1 showing the month-wise corona status of Mizoram, as district-wise corona status of Mizoram, and the socio-economic impact of COVID in Mizoram, and vaccination status in the Mizoram, how many vaccinated, and lockdown imposed due to COVID-19 in Mizoram. So that is the resultant discussion, and then discussion. All these tables has been discussed in the discussion headings, and then conclusion has been drawn. Conclusion coming to here, and last the reference. So that is the way for the UG students to write the project reports. So for I think I am taking interest for since this conference is mainly focused for the students' interest. So I am interested to show the things here so that they can get benefit from that examples. Although the lecture may be very, very much hi-fi, may not be understanding at all, but these things may help for their things. So now coming for the just 5 minutes, another 5 minutes I am taking just for the teachers, my researcher, those who have. So I am showing my research projects here. I submitted to the DST, Department of Science and Technology. The first is you see the topic's name is required, and then the proposal details is required for the submitting. Online submission is required here. So all applicants related, and that kind of DST sending the projects here. The project summary is required. Then project objective is required. Keywords is also required. Then expected outcome of the proposal is also required. So in that title of the topics here, the origin of the proposal, they have given Sabani origin of the proposal from where you have bring the study area. That things should be focused in the details of this area, and review of the research and development subject, how the subject is reviewed. So all headings are coming here under this introduction heading. Then work plan. Work plan means how to do the work year-wise, target along with the year-wise. Methodology also here showing based on the objectives what the methodology follows, then year-wise plan and target to be achieved. Year 1, year 2, year 3. Suppose quarter 1, I have shown here the year 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4, that way every year. So second year again, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Third year, quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. Outcome of the projects, what will be the outcome, and what is the risk analysis, what is the expertise required, and then what is the key publications of the investigator. So all the informations are required actually based on the funding agency, UGC or today's lectures I got from the another resource person. It focuses on UGC, yes, rightly. So that is a very important, from sending the funding proposal, research proposal to different funding agency. They have different kind of criteria, different kinds of format. According to the format, we have to give the write the research proposal and sending to them, and then according to their criteria, if we don't able to meet the criteria, then we cannot get the acceptance of the proposals. We cannot get the approvals of the getting the proposal research project, or cannot get the fund. So that is very important. And budget, and most important thing is budget is also very important. Budget, while budget, writing their budget, what kind of how many budget is required for your projects, and year wise mentioned how many in which head, year 1, year 2, year 3. I have written a 50 lakhs rupees the manpower 2 projects fellow is required, and then the what is the equipment instrument is required, what is the consumable, what is the contingency. So every heading, field work, travel, petrol, or the study materials, software, anything is required. So overhead charges for the institutions where we can do the research work. So all these heading, all these things we have to mention in the project expenditure budget table, so that it get clear cut picture how much money is required and which head what kind of money is required. This is very much important. Otherwise the project get rejected while sending the, and if it is not justified, then it is again, it will be a big problem for the getting the fund. So with this, I would like to conclude my talk here. Thank you all. Thank you for inviting me, giving the opportunity to share some ideas. Thank you, organizers. Once again, I think I have taken a little bit more time. As per the stipulated time, I have gone beyond that. Hello. 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 Hello.
Raghu sir, please you unmute your microphone, sir.
Unmuted. Anyway, Kulendu sir, are you listening me?
Yes. Hello.
Yeah, so
Yes,
very
yes.
critically you have presented, very nicely you have presented. Actually, our student friends will be benefited a lot in this presentation, right from your proposal, right from the other proposals we have had with suitable examples, explain how to write a project, how to perform a project, how to continue a project. So, from my core of the heart, sir, I am expressing my gratitude to you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your nice and beautiful presentation. So one thing I would like to request you, if you will share the materials with us, then we will share these materials to our student friends, then they will be benefited.
Sir, one question comes
Okay,
from
slide.
the student community, and I have shared in the screen, sir.
Proposals.
Yes.
One
Hello.
question is appearing in the screen from our student friends side.
Oh, okay. How many literature reviews should be done, right? Yes, this question is here. The how many
Yeah.
literature reviews should be done? This is the question, right?
Right.
So yeah, literature review actually based on the topic. Based on the topic, we have to search what are the literature available. What are the literature available? If the literature based on the topic, literature is available global level, we can put it global level also, national level. So literature based on the topic, how many it is, not the limitation is there. So any project, any research work, there is a focus is there. International searching is required, national level importance, and then local level we have to see. We are doing the work on the local level, but we have to see the research area or allied area or similar kind of work, whether is it carried out in different other part of country or other part of the globe. So if it is done, then we can also see how they did. So that's why in the literature survey, it does not indicate that you have to confine in particular place only, not like that. You have to search that how many work has been done on particular topic. So it is depends on the researcher how much they can able to cope up, how much they can able to get it.
Okay. Thank you.
If I go
Thank
for
you
the
once
more,
again.
then we can get more idea. Hello.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you once again for your beautiful reply. Just I request you, please, you to share the materials. Okay, the proposal and others. Then we will share to the
Slide.
students. Then they will, yeah, slide and others. What materials you are having. Okay, so that will help the students a lot
Okay. Yes.
for preparing the project and other things. Okay, and the faculties also. So once again, I am expressing my thanks and gratitude to you for your nice and beautiful presentations.
Thank
Now
you.
we have another presenter, Sri Devobrata Das. He is a research scholar at IIT Palakkad, Kerala. Sri Das completed his BTech from Agartala, NIT Agartala, and then he completed his MTech from Palakkad, IIT Kerala. He will be talking on how to plan a project. So I humbly requesting Sri Devabrata Das to present the presentation. Devabrata Das,
So
please.
am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. So firstly, thanks to the organizing committee for inviting me to this nationally conference, and to all the viewers, I just want to mention that I am not here to give you some lectures on how to do that and all, but I am going to share my experience how I have done those things, and I think it will help you in the long run to set your plan for the project as well. Because I will share my knowledge how I have done my projects, and then I think from like this talk, you will get some idea how to plan your project as well. Okay, so let me share my screen. Just wait a second. Is my screen visible?
Not yet. It's coming. Yes, it is now visible.
Yeah. So let me make it to full screen mode. Yeah, is it full screen, right?
Yeah, in that respect, it is full screen mode. Huh?
Okay. So today I am going to talk about like how to plan a project. So this is a thing that we should consider as a UG or PG level, or any person who is going to take something or going to make something. So it is supposed to be he should plan something before going for that, right? So that's why I am going to talk about like how to plan a project for my process. So I am Devabrata Das, and I have completed my BTech in mechanical engineering from NIT Agartala and completed MTech as mentioned from IIT Palakkad in manufacturing and materials engineering. So I have completed in recently. So let's start with my projects. So these are my projects, and I think you are now thinking like why I have mentioned my project over here. So the thing is, I have mentioned my project so that you can have an idea how I have done it and I have gone through this process. So I will take the examples of my project and I will let you make you understand like how I have gone through it, so that you can have the idea of how to plan a project first. So these are the projects that first project is design and fabrication of bale cutting machine. It was an project I have done in IIT Kanpur in Rural Technology Action Group. It was in 2016. Then I have done one project that is analysis of air pollution by vehicles in Agartala city. It was a case study kind of thing, and it was in cooperation with the District Pollution Control Board as well as the Tripura State Pollution Control Board and the District Transport Office of Agartala, West Tripura, and obviously it was my BTech project in 2016-17. Then I was involved in an innovation project that is analysis of various waste foundry sand and giving the alternate ways to reuse it. It was an funded project from Indo Shell Cast that is in Coimbatore-based foundry company, and I have done it in IIT Palakkad in 2019-20. Then I was there in CSIR Nest. I worked there for 3 months, and I have done in 3D printing of nanomaterials. It was a review kind of paper. Then I have done design and simulation of graded porous structure by selective laser melting process. It was my MTech project in IIT Palakkad, and I have just recently completed this project. So I have mentioned all this project to show you, like, to give you the examples, like what way you had to proceed whenever you are going for a project. So let's start. So these are the topics I'm going to cover today. Like, what is research, what is the project, difference between the research and project. These are the basic things you have to understand before going for a project or research. Then how to plan a project. Obviously, this is the main topic of today, my talk, and I will give some ideas of brainstorming. Like, how can you go for a project, or how can you find a project for yourself. Let's start. So, what is research? The first question comes to our mind whenever we are going for any research project, or whenever going for thinking any, making any investigation or something. So, the first thing comes in our mind: what is project? So, project, or what is research? So, research is a process of discovering new knowledge. Whenever we are going for just consider a COVID vaccine. So COVID vaccine is discovered few months back, and it is a kind of research. And due to this research, we have come out with a new things and new knowledge. Recently, you have it has been in news that DRDO published one drug, or established one drug regarding COVID. So this is also an research, and that we are getting the outcome of this researchers in a newer new unique thing, and these are the knowledge we are getting. So some of the renowned person like they defined research in their way, like Earl Robert Bobby, who is an American sociologist. He defined research is a systematic inquiry to describe, explain, predict, control, observe phenomenon, right? So it involves inductive and deductive methods. So there are some methods that inductive and deductive methods were there. So he defines research in his terms, right? He is an American sociologist. If we consider like John W. Best, you know the names, I think, as you are from the UG and PG level, and you have done through the research methodology. So obviously you know the name John W. Best. He is an author of the book Research in Education. So he described research in his terms, like research is systematic and objective analysis of recording and controlled observation that may lead to the development of generalization principles of theories, right? So when we are talking about research, what are the characteristics that we look after? Right? So first characteristic, these are the most important characteristics. There may be a lot of characteristics are there, right? So first characteristic is neutrality. Neutrality means we should not give priority to any argument. We should give them a neutral view to each and every argument that were present in this case, whatever we are considering. Then reliability, how the data you are collected, or what are the measures you are taking, how it is reliable, or other words we can say the consistency of the measurement. Okay. Then validity of this measurement, that is the how accurate the measures you have taken, how accurate those measures are. So this giving the validity. And the finally the generalization means whatever you are doing as part of your research, it should be in generalized manner, so that it can give a general idea, or it can give a generalized solution of that problem that you are considering in case of research. Now what is project? Now, project is obviously a little bit different from this research, but the project is any undertaking which has been carried out by particular person, or a group of persons. So it may be an individual project, or maybe collaborative way of doing something, or doing research or design. So obviously it should be an going forward for an particular to achieve a particular aim. So this is all about project. Obviously, project also have some characteristics, like project have a clear start and ending time. Like whenever you are going for project, like let's say about your UG project, so you will be having 1 year time, let's say in part starting from the fifth semester, and it is going to end with your sixth semester. So obviously it has a time frame, so it is considering as a project. Then obviously project has some boundaries. Projects have some boundaries. Project create something new. Obviously, as we are going for a project, as we are going as you are going for an UG project, so obviously you are supposed to make something new, or get something solution of something solution of any problems which is supposed to be unique. So obviously these things supposed to be considered whenever you are going for a project. Then finally project is not always as business as usual. Okay, so a project should not be considered as business all the time, because sometimes project also be business. Because if you are getting a consultancy project or research project, then it sometimes it should be business, but not always. So it should not be considered as business as always. Okay, now what is the difference between research and project? Generally we just consider that research is a research project, these are same terms, but it is not like that. As If we go for the in a like micro level, so we can see that the research is something that is uncountable. It is not related to there is no time bound or something. If you consider a PhD student, he is not having that time bound. He whenever he can get his results, or whenever he get his papers done, he will get the PhD degree. So there is no time limit. As he is doing some research, obviously it's not like he will get the answer within this period or within the time frame, right? But in case of project, there should be some time frame is there, so you should get the answer within this time frame. So obviously there's a little bit difference between research and projects, obviously. Okay, now how to plan a project. So now we are talking about our main thing, or the today's objectives of this lecture or the talk. So first thing we have to consider is area of interest on subject matter knowledge. You have to consider, or you have to think about your area of interest. As here the pupils are from physics or history, so obviously you are having some areas of consideration, like physics, quantum mechanics, then thermodynamics, then what I can say, astrophysics. So there are some areas you have, like let's consider my mechanical engineering. I'm considering mechanical engineering for better understanding of myself. So you can consider your area of interest, like as your branch is physics, you can consider it physics. Now when we are considering about mechanical engineering, there are some broader area of thermal, design and manufacturing. These are the three broader area, or the areas that is the mechanical engineering is divided into: the thermal, design and manufacturing. As I have mentioned, for physics, the areas are divided into quantum mechanics, then thermodynamics, then astrophysics. So in this way, mechanical engineering is divided into thermal, design and manufacturing. Now how I am going forward with my project, I have chosen, as I am from manufacturing background, I have chosen a topic of additive manufacturing from that manufacturing background, and I want to work on this additive manufacturing background, because I am feeling interested toward this. I feel interested towards this domain. Okay, so you have to think which field you are comfortable with, which field you are feeling interested towards. So this thing you should consider before making a plan or going forward a project. Now the thing is, subject matter knowledge you have to have with you, because as I'm going for manufacturing, I'm not able, I don't say that in every each and every subject of manufacturing I am have the same knowledge, obviously. So as I am choosing additive manufacturing, because I am having the subject knowledge of this additive manufacturing, so I've chosen this. Now I'm looking to the opportunities for the what are the opportunities I am having in additive manufacturing. For that case, we have to lead toward our second this topic, or this second subject matter. So obviously opportunities. Now whenever I am looking for opportunities, there may become one term, that is, obviously when I'm going for opportunities, I have seen that bone implants with additive manufacturing is very it can play a vital role in my area. So I have chosen this biomedical as well, with addition to this additive manufacturing. So my project is comes down to an interdisciplinary kind of thing. Nowadays everything is coming onto an interdisciplinary kind of thing. If you are relating physics with let's say electronic, let's say manufacturing, then there may be some interdisciplinary kind of project you may land up, right? So you should consider not only this core subject, you should consider the interdisciplinary kind of things what you are having in your mind. So whenever you are looking for opportunities, don't just look for the only your core area. Look for everything what you are getting from this subject, and try to relate with if there is some other subject as well, so that you can make an interdisciplinary kind of project. Now whenever I was looking for opportunity, we land up to this opportunities and scopes. And this opportunity and scopes and literature survey is we don't say that this is literature survey comes first or opportunity comes first. It won't be like that, right? Sometimes you have the opportunities first, because you, if the idea stuck to your head, and you have the opportunity first. so that then after you go for the literature subject. But sometimes it happens that with the literature subject you comes up with an idea, right? So these are an alternate version, I can say. Sometimes it may happen that you are having the opportunities of scopes with you, you are doing the literature survey to getting the idea, and sometimes you do the literature survey first to get the opportunities, right? So whenever you are looking for opportunities, look for the challenges around you. What are the challenges facing in our recent world? What are the challenges going on? Or if you are choosing any area, like say for additive manufacturing, if I'm choosing any area of additive manufacturing, I'm looking for opportunity, then I should look for the challenges. What are the challenges this additive manufacturing is facing, right? So you should look for the challenges, and don't afraid to ask questions. Whenever your teacher is teaching anything, just ask him like what, why, and why not it is like that, then how it is happening. Well, it I'm sure that you will get the challenges or you get the opportunities from this question only. Whenever you ask something, you will get the if you ask something, let's say I'm talking about bone implant as my project, this project 5, I have mentioned the graded porous structure. Why I'm going for graded porous structure? Because whenever we are going for bone implant, the other materials are not what I can say, other material not delivering the desired properties that are required. So I am going for graded porous structure. So how I can get this opportunity to work? Because I have questioned that why other materials are not behaving or giving the proper properties so that I can use it. So I have to design something else. That's why I have gone for graded porous structure. So you have to question yourself, or you have to question everything. Whenever you are studying anything, you have to question it, then you will get the opportunities. Now next thing is to note down each and every possibilities that you have learned or you have got. Then understand the challenges very well, that which challenges to which challenge can be addressed by you. Now let's say we are in each and every part, I will try to give an example from my projects, okay? So for your better understanding, let's say this project I have chosen additive manufacturing because it is an emerging field. I want to work on that. Now I have looking forward for the opportunities. I have seen that demand of bone implant is increasing day by day, so I want to work on that. Then I have seen that I already mentioned that I have asked question why bone implants are not able to other materials are not able to show the properties as bone implants. So I am getting that there should be some porosity. So I have designed this graded porous structure, and then I have to look for the material, which material I have to use. Then I have to go for, as we are going to use this material in your body, so obviously this should be biocompatible material. So I have chosen this Ti64 alloy. I i feel that you have some idea of metal and alloy, so this is an alloy. And finally I have chosen how I am going to make it. This is a which will be my process, this selective laser melting. Okay, now whenever we are going for literature survey, how to do the literature survey, this is the most important thing. Many people are not able to find the correct paper or correct literature for their work. Now as I'm working on graded porous structure, as I'm working on selective laser melting, as I'm using this Ti64 alloy, then you should go in a keywords. If you want to search a literature, you have to put some keywords. Let me show in the my later this presentation itself. Let's say I am searching in Google Scholar. You can see that I have given the keywords graded porous structure, selective laser melting, and Ti64 alloy. Then you have seen that just search the result. Let's see. You can see these results are coming with this selective laser melting, Ti64 alloy, and graded porosity. So obviously, I will go for this paper and I will try that. I will look for what are the requirement of mine. Requirements are there or not. I will check for those keywords. I will, as you can see, you can put the keywords. You will get the papers. Just go through those papers to get your idea. Okay, so this is how you can do the literature survey to get the idea how it is working. So these are the ways you can look for the papers to get some idea how you are going to implement this. Now the thing we have to go like define your objectives. Whenever you are starting any project or you are starting any research work, you have to mention your objective first. You have to define your objective first, otherwise you will not be having the idea how what should be the project should achieve, right? So what should the project achieve? You have to have the objectives in your hand. Like let's say give some example. the first project I have given you, the design and simulation, design and fabrication of a bale cutting machine. So how I get this objective? Some of the rural people came to that rural technology action group, and they have mentioned that they are in need of some semi-automated solution to cut the bale. Okay, so this problem they have given to me, and I have found my objective, that is defined my objective to give a semi-automated solution to cut the bale to this rural people. So this is my objective for project one, and this is the thing I should achieve during my whole task. So this is how you should define your objective. Let's say my fifth project, that is graded for a structure. So there are four objectives. Objectives may be one, your project maybe have one objective or may have multiple objectives. So it depends upon your work, right? So this project 5, that is designing and simulation graded for a structure, it has four objectives. So I whenever I am going for this project, I will look to address these four objectives at the end of my project, right? So you have to have the objectives with you. You have to define your objectives very well to get the idea, or to motivate yourself to get those objectives to be done, right? Now the most important thing is, in your terms maybe it is methodology, but I am giving is an task. So make the list of tasks. Task means just what I can say, break down your whole work in a small task or in a small chunks of work, right? So for that case, first you finalize the equipment or software that you are going to use for your work, that already you have generalized the objective, already you have done the literature survey, then you have formulated the objectives, right? So now you have go for making or breaking down the task in making down the whole work in small tasks, so that it can be achieved very early, right? So finalize the equipments and softwares. Like if you are going for some characterization, let's say for some material, if you are going for some characterization, then you need some let's say some equipments, let's say scanning electron microscope, extra dry fraction. So these equipment, you should finalize those equipments, what are you going to use. Then you should have some, if you are having some simulation work or analytical work, then you should have some softwares with you, right? If you in your physics you have like Acrobat, Code 1, IDL, etc. For my case, I have used like three software: SolidWorks, SimoFactor Additive, ANSYS ANSYS Workbench. So those are my softwares, right? So how to make the list of tasks, or how to break break the whole work in a small task, right? For the project one, if I say this is a design and fabrication of bale cutting machine, first thing I have to do, I have to divide it in four tasks. That is, first task is to design and on modeling of this machine that I have designed. This is the only working machine, by the way, in India right now. So this is designing and modeling. First I have to do that. Then simulation, to check how it will work. Whenever we are designing something, don't just go for fabrication or manufacturing or building it, right? You have to have some simulation with him, like to show or to see how it is working. Then you go for fabrication. Otherwise you may end up losing some money, or may lots of money, right? So then I have go for fabrication, then I am operated the machine, which is only working machine now in India in this domain. So this is the task I have divided for my project one. But if you go for the other project, the task may be different. As you can see, for the project 5, my tasks were like designing and modeling. I have designed the graded porous structure, then determining the process parameters, because I am going for a process that needs some parameters to be set, right? So I have determined the process parameter, and how I can determine the process parameter, it will come from the literature review. And how you'll get the literature, you have to search for the literature with a keyword, so that you can get the proper literature for your work, right? Then I have gone for, after deciding or determining the process parameters, I have gone for the simulation to get the result, right? So simulation, after getting the simulation, I have got the results of simulation, I have performed the analytical work, and finally I have compared the results with the properties of the real bone that is in our body. So this here is I have divided the whole work in 5 tasks, and I have given the time frame for each and every task, and I have completed it, and finally I have accumulated all the tasks and get the result out of it, right? So for your case, maybe you can divide the task by yourself, and it may be only 2 tasks will be there, it may be there maybe 10 tasks. So depending upon your project to project, it will vary how many tasks you can divide into, right? So this is how you should make the list of the projects. list of the tasks before starting it. Now the perform the task. This is the most important thing as you are going for fabrication, as you are going for like any project work. How to perform all the tasks set by you. You can just set the objectives, you can set tasks, but if you don't do the task properly, if you don't implement the task properly, then you are not going to get the results, right? So how to perform the task, perform the task one by one, as I have given like a first designing. So I'll first go for designing of these models. So go for the your first task, then go, sometimes it may happen that the results of the first task may serve the input of your second task, right? So you have to wait for the first task to be completed so that you can get the results and you can give the input results as an input to the next project, right? It also varies depending upon the project to project. For sometimes it may be not same, sometimes it may be serve the project. So you have to perform the task, then analyzing the result. Analyzing the result critically is very important, okay? Because without analyzing the critically result critically, you don't get the loopholes that were in your project. So getting the result or best outcome out of this result, you have to analyze the result critically. Now how I have performed the task, I will show you. This is the first thing that I have made the design with some software that is called SolidWorks. You may have the idea of the software like AutoCAD in your field. So I have used SolidWorks for making the design. After making the design, I have performed the simulation. As you can see, these pictures, these are simulated results of this structure only. This structure is for getting one result, that is how this material is deforming under some load, because our real bone also get encountering some load. So obviously I have to check how it is behaving under load, because I am going to use it as an implant of our bone. Okay, now this is how it is behaving when we are going for making it. So these are the result I am getting from the simulation. So you also can do this thing. Then if any calculation needed, for my case there are a lot of calculation required, so I have done the calculation with the results I am getting from those simulation work. So it may be there for you or may not be there for you, it's depending upon what you are doing, right? So calculation after calculation, I have given coming to a conclusion, that is an hypothetical situation I have designed, like if we are going for manufacturing, or if we are going for implant point of view. So how we need to address those things. As you can see, these are the name of the structure. As you can see, this total porous structure is giving the best implant results, and it is also a moderate in case of its manufacturing point of view. So I will choose this structure. So this is the result of my project. What I am these are what are my objectives were. I have fulfilled the objectives and I am getting this conclusion with these results. These two results are preferable for my case or for my project. So this is supposed to be concluded with you should conclude your project with your objectives to be completed, right? So this is the way. Now concluding the project, conclude the project is very important. Now how to conclude the project? It may happen that during your project you have completed the project, or it may happen that you are not getting the results. So as you have already set the objectives, so obviously you have some goals or objectives that what you are having. So you have to ask yourself the question that you have achieved the goal or goals or not. If yes, how much percentage you have got the results. So this thing you have to result. If yes, it is well and good, you have completed the work in time and you have completed your project. But the thing is that if it is no, right, then you should ask yourself the question why you are not getting the results. Then this why question will lead you to the future scope of your work, right? If you are let's say if I as I am doing the project work, I'll let's say I am considering my project 5, that is graded for a structure. If I have already got the result, but there are some few structures, for those case I am not getting the desired result what I am supposed I was expecting, right? So I question myself why I'm not getting those desired results from those structures apart from these two structures, right? Then I will have the future scope, right? Yeah, then I can do some design modification to all the structures so that I can get those desired proportion. Now my future scope is that how can I modify those structures and it will lead me to the another project, right? So this is how you should question yourself to get the future scope of the work, right? So the now this is all about like how to plan your project. Now I will give you some ideas for brainstorming something you should consult yourself in your group. You should like uh, have some idea about how to do that. Let me show you some basic idea or basic challenges that we are facing nowadays, and you should, if you want to address those things, you should have to come up with some idea. Let's say, how can we reuse the used battery? Yeah, you can see everywhere there are some lot of batteries. If we consume the battery life, we just throw it out, right? So how to use those reuse those battery that we have already used? It will if you throw it in the water, it may lead to some diseases, right? So without throwing it to the anywhere, you can accumulate those things. Uh, you can make it reuse. So how to reuse those things? It can be one project. Then clean water from used water or river water. Clean water is a very big issue nowadays, though we are not facing it, but many cities are facing it. So how to make clean water from the used water or river water, to just try to give a sustainable solution for that. You may land up in a good project. You may get some fund also from various authorities are there to give funding you, right? Now the solution of the city traffic jam. The city traffic jam is very bad problem. So you should design something, or you can design something so that you can give the solution for that problem. Now there are some if you look around ourselves, you can get the plastic waste are available everywhere. So you can use of this plastic waste and give some valuable output from this plastic waste, so that you can reuse all those things, right? Paper waste. Then the most important thing is garbage. We are having garbage in our home. We are seeing these things every day. If you look around, you will see that in roadside you will have the garbage of the households. So you can use those garbage and get some valuable output from this. So these are some topics, or these are some ideas to brainstorm. You can think yourself, question how can you modify those things, how can you get some valuable output from the garbage, paper, plastic. You will end up in a good project to do. And you may, if your project is valuable one, you can ask for funding from various organizations, and there are lots of organizations are present available, those will fund you, right? As early the previous speakers also said, UGC is there, many organizations are there, DST is there. So they may fund you, that's not an issue. But the thing is, you should have some very good idea. An idea comes from the scratches, right? So if you have if you consider this garbage, and if you can use it in a proper manner, you show, if you can if you have an idea to get valuable products out of it, funding is there, you can go for it. Or you may land up in a startup as well. If garbage can give you the product, a good product, valuable product, you may land up your own startup, you may land up in your own business, right? So many more what I can say opportunities are there, just look around. Okay. And finally, start planning your project. Start planning your project.
Yes.
Raghu sir.
Actually, power has gone. That is why I was out of the network.
Yeah, also sir,
Anyway,
network connection is also okay. Sir has give now Devrata sir is here.
Yeah. There's some network issue.
whether I am audible,
Yeah.
Abhijit sir.
Why
Yes,
am
sir.
I?
Yeah, you are audible, sir. Yeah, audible, sir, audible.
Okay. Actually, I was out of the network.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
anyway, I am using the.
So I think I'm in the last slide, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So obviously, the presentation is over, and there is a network issue as I'm not able to connect. So stay home, stay safe for everyone, and keep learning at this point of time. As you can know, everything is digital nowadays, so you can learn in everywhere. You can use the resources of YouTube, online platforms, and all the best. Thank you all. And if you
Yes,
have
sir.
any
You
query, you
continue.
can
Just
contact me in this mail ID. So if you have any query, you can mail it. Thank you. Hello.
Hello, I think Raghu
Devabrata
sir,
sir,
internet connection has been lost.
Abhijit sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
One
sir.
minute. I am on the way. Just a minute. I am on the way. Actually, power has come, so I am now using the.
Okay, sir. Now you are audible, sir.
Actually, network issue is a common issue in the northeastern India,
Yes, sir.
and I am lagging behind. I am listening very much. Okay. Anyway,
Come across from right from the survey
from the methodology and every aspect, he explained very much from his own experience as well.
he has undertaken so many projects from his own project work. He has explained very beautifully to our student fraternity how to pursue a problem, how to perform a research work, how to perform a project work. And in the last, I was listening, he was explaining that if you will not get the correct answer what he was expecting, then also you don't give up. And we have come across that failure is the pillar of success. So whenever you the students will be going, will be pursuing to a particular problem, then finally surely you will get some path and surely get some answer. So that way, what way the Devotati Das was explained, hopefully our students will follow that path and finally they will be also succeeded. Anyway, I am expressing my thanks and gratitude to Devabrata Das for his beautiful presentations. We have come
Thank you,
across
sir.
a very beautiful presentation, and particularly our students, friends will be benefited very much. As we are lagging behind, that is why I am concluding the session. But before that, I request Devabrata Das, please share the slides and other materials to us
Okay.
so that we can share the students. Okay,
Yeah, sure.
so that way they will be also benefited. Yeah. So hopefully physically also we will meet soon.
Yes, sir. Sure, sir.
Yeah, and we'll be planning to what I could say organize some physical seminar also
Okay.
in the coming days. So if we will invite, hopefully you will respond to our invitation.
Okay.
So thank you
Yeah.
once again,
Thank you.
Devabrata Dash, and all the participants, respected participants, who are also some my colleagues, some faculty members are also there, the organizers. So on behalf of organizers, I am concluding the today's session, today's seminar. Thank you all for being with us.